Modus Super Series, Series 8, Week 7. It's the Pac-Man, Adam Paxton.
John Lowe dart, Flights doing the Luke Humphries finish.
Ashley Coleman. James on the first
Fallon Sherritt.
Fallon Sherritt.
We have treble here to do a dart at the ball. Dart at the ball it is.
James
And that's
on the
all he
first
needs.
leg.
A
What
big,
a
big
score.
moment in a big, big game from a big, big player. For people at the end of play today. One more Jameson, Coleman and Ham already eliminated.
James on the second leg.
Let's check over there
Stuart
from
Kelly.
Stuart Kelly just to 16th. Leaves the ball.
James on
That
the
could be the
fifth
big
leg.
moment.
Get the
We
ball.
talk about 6 darts that can separate the leg, that can separate the match.
127 in game. Magical from the Wizard. Produces the 127 in game.
Hi there, good evening and welcome along to another Super Saturday here at the Modus Super Series, a place at Champions Week up for grabs as Week 8 reaches its conclusion. And joining me to guide you through the action tonight, a certain Mr. Matthew Edgar. You've been with us, well, not just for the full week, for the last 2 weeks. And this is it's got a really good feel about a top finals night, hasn't it?
It really does. I mean, last week we had the debutant Adam Paxton being the story of the night. Tonight, you look, where's the story coming from? Connor Scott up here for the first time on a finals night. Never really got to grips with things. So have we got a favourite here that can really be shot at? Last week, we had a big favourite in Wesley Pazier, the same way we did this week with Connor Scott. Is it going to be a similar story for the favourites?
Yeah, it's been a pattern, hasn't it? Let's see who is shooting at Connor Scott this week. Ashley Coleman, Gert DeVos, Fallon Sherritt, Stuart Kelly and Colin Osborne. Each of those players has got their own kind of different story coming into tonight.
And a long story, a journeyed story. It's been with drama. Nothing's going to be easy for the players this week. Connor Scott, even though he won that Group A, he even won it on leg difference with Ashley Coleman rivaling him there. The players in those groups, in those qualifying campaigns, Colin Osborne probably the one that had it the most easy in regards to a drama-free campaign, only losing the last game. But that Group B that we saw, that is where it all got congested. That's where it got a bit drama-filled. And maybe those players a bit of fatigue coming into today, because the emotional roller coaster that would have gone on for the past couple of days is going to be big.
Yeah, well, let's go through those groups one by one. Group A, just mentioned, was a photo finish in the end. Ashley Coleman and Connor Scott both getting 24 points. A big separation there with the next two players on 14. In the end, all of those top four have made it through. But Coleman and Scott just seemed to push each other along, didn't they?
Well, no one had a positive leg difference. Only the two players at the top, Coleman and Scott, which shows how much they dominated that group. And really, those head-to-head clashes was crucial in the end. Those head-to-head clashes where it all came down, and Connor Scott in those really stepped it up. We saw some great performances from Connor Scott across the week, but still feels like there's more in there. Still feels like there's gears to go. And when we come to a Saturday night, players that have won the Group A, sometimes we get a bit of a tricky story or a slow start, and we often see the player that wins Group A go out. Connor Scott is a thinking dart player. He's gone home. He's gone to break this up into 2 parts. Saturday night's completely different to the week campaign. He's practiced very similar to his normal routine. Not the same sort of hours, but he's kept ticking over. How many times do we say, I went and had a walk around Portsmouth, I had an ice cream, went on a speedboat. They come on Saturday and they struggle. Connor Scott's not like that. He's prepared. He's continued. He's here for the week. And just because he's had a couple of days off, he's not had them off. He's been preparing for Saturday.
And there was one match in particular where he really produced some fireworks, a special performance from Connor Scott. In the end, in this game, the second highest average here at the Modus Super Series.
And very nearly the best ever average we've seen at the Super Series. Certainly one of the best averages, not just at the Super Series, but anywhere on Planet Darts right now. That performance was spectacular. What makes it even more impressive is there was The finishing percentage wasn't 100%, it was closer to 50, and didn't have a single maximum in the game, which just shows how good he was at those 2 treble scores.
Yeah, and you can see there he split the difference. It was Daryl Pilgrim first and second. He's now first and third. A certain Luke Littler, of course, on that list, and Andreas Harrison as well, a couple of former champions there. So good company to keep, and it shows why he's going to be such a strong favourite tonight.
He is a favourite, but I thought he'd be a stronger favourite than he is with the odds compilers. For me, he's the man to beat. Not just here tonight, this week, before it even started, I said he's the man to beat. I've also said he's the man to beat for the series. I don't think we've got our favourite yet for Champions Week, and should Connor Scott go through, I can guarantee he'll be installed as the favourite.
Right, Group B wasn't quite as glittering and glorious as Group A, it has to be said, but Ashley Coleman did have another good winning streak in there, just dropping a couple of games, won that group. Gert de Vos going through, but look at the bottom 3, all on the same points. Fallon Sherrick kind of sneaking through, although she was in position for quite a long time.
Legs won. It wasn't points, it wasn't leg difference. Our third deciding factor, legs won, which shows how tight that group was. And it was tight not because everyone performed to the best of their ability. We can't sugarcoat, we've got to say what it is, and it was who makes the less mistakes. That's kind of how it looked in that Group B campaign, and it looked like Fallon was going to make the mistake in not crossing the line. She got to that point where she needed the 3 legs, maybe didn't want to know she needed the 3 legs, but overheard conversations, and it's shown. It really did. She went 2-0 ahead. She was a leg away, missed 4 or 5 darts, handfuls of darts at the double before eventually getting across the line. The benefit, though, for Fallon was that last leg, 140, 140, 100. When it was last chance saloon, that's sort of the atmosphere she's going to be in tonight. That's the environment on a Saturday night. So she's got some positives there to bring into this.
A word on Ashley Coleman. Was he more convincing in the group that he didn't win than the one that he did?
Yeah, I don't think he performed well at all last night. And the funny thing was, he looked like he was going to go through the card at one point. Maybe got a little bit of aura about him at the moment. Maybe people are aware of what he's doing. Sometimes name and reputation can win you games on its own. People missing chances, people not taking chances. He's also a tricky player to play. The reason for that is his pace. We often talk about playing slow players, but Ashley Coleman is quick. And I don't just mean quick in delivering the darts, he's quick to the hockey, he presents the hockey very quick. And with that, sometimes you feel like you've got to go and you've got to be on there and you've got to keep the flow of the game. So what you can do is you can get caught up in his pace quite a little bit. And I think that happened a bit last night. People getting caught up in his pace. We saw Gert de Vos last night really try and take a step back when he played Ashley Coleman. And I think that could be just a little ace up his sleeve.
You mentioned de Vos there. He said he was inconsistent. That's his own admission. But it's all just about getting to Saturday, isn't it? If he can produce tonight, he's got as good a chance as anybody, surely. Exactly,
and the good thing about the Super Series format is you don't have to be consistent for long. You just have to be good for short bursts. It's short burst formats. He's just got to come up here and be good for 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and that will see him through. On par level, everybody's got the same sort of ability here tonight. No one's really going to stand out other than what I've said with Connor Scott. But for the rest of the pack, they're all going to be very similar. So what's going to decide this is 6 to 9 darts. A good finish at the end of one leg, starting the next leg strong. That could be the separation in the middle part of the match.
And 2 players that qualified very, very comfortably were Colin Osborne and Stuart Kellett in Group C. We can see the table there. It came down to one match between them as to which one won the group. In fact, Osborne was on for a record-breaking campaign until Kellett beat him, but it never looked like anybody else in that group, did it?
No, there was a lot of nerves on show in Group C. We had a lot of debutants, people here for the first time, people playing their biggest tournament here at the Super Series, and it's shown at times. There were some good moments, some good signs. The key thing to remember for those players was they qualified. They wasn't put here, they wasn't selected. They came here as qualifiers and they put in performances maybe they'll be disappointed with. But the big thing for them is they get the opportunity now to go back. They'll be hungry, they'll be determined, they'll come back, and we'll probably see them here again doing better. But as far as the people that got through, Stuart Kellett, I don't like to say rolling back the years, but he was very, very good in his campaign. It was the finishing, something that he said was actually not a strong point coming into this. It was actually the scoring. We saw the opposite. So if what we've seen here and what he's seen comes together tonight, it could be a real danger.
Absolutely right. Let's show you the groups for this evening. This is how it will work. 3 players in Group 1, round robin against each other. First and second go through to the semi-finals. Winner of that plays the runner-up of Group 2. We've got Scott, de Vos and Osborne in one group, Coleman, Kellett and Sherrick in the other. Is there a stronger group there for you?
It's always going to be the group with Connor Scott in it, because for me he's the out-and-out favourite. He's the man to beat, and I don't just mean he's a player to beat here at the Super Series. I mean he's a player to beat in any arena. He's doing well when he gets those Pro Tour call-ups. He's winning on the WDF. He's winning on the Challenge Tour. Everywhere he goes, he seems to be picking up titles at the moment. Recently picked up the pentathlon. Anytime he's in your group, on any week, even a Champions Week, that is a tough group, and that's why Group 1 is the tricky one, because I think it's Connor Scott plus one other.
And he is the big favourite to win this evening's title. Connor Scott, they go 7-4. I get the feeling from what you said at the start of this conversation that you think they could have gone even shorter than that.
I would be looking, if I was pricing this up, I'd be wanting evens. I wouldn't be going 7-4. I think that's an absolute massive price tonight. He's head and shoulders above what we've seen on the week, and that's him not getting into top gear yet. Now, we know Saturday night's different. He's never really settled on this stage. He's never produced on this stage yet, and that might be why the 7-4's there. The same as we said last week with Plaisir, when we looked at those odds and we said, well, he's not really got over the line, so is that a little bit short? So maybe those reservations have been applied tonight, which is why there's value available tonight at 7-4.
I'm not even going to ask you if you think it's going to win, because I think you've made that clear during the conversation. You're going to join Phil Bars in commentary, and the first match of the night is about to get underway. The top two favourites are going to play each other in this evening's opener as Connor Scott takes on Colin Osborne, and Phil spoke to both players earlier on.
Colin, here we are back on finals night, and it's been a roller coaster of a week. Disappointing Group A, commanding Group C. What's confidence like right now?
As always, Phil, you know, for me, it's obviously it's finals night. You know, tonight, like I said to you yesterday, I come in at the beginning of the week, prepare myself right, played some decent stuff first couple of days. You know, lost out on leg difference to get into the, you know, Thursday, Friday night, but then obviously coming Thursday, won my first 5, put me in a comfortable position, and obviously done the job, and here we are again. Look,
that Group C campaign just fell short of the perfect one, but you must be able to take so much from those 2 days.
Oh yeah, like you say, I think it's everyone's goal, whether you come in the beginning of the week or you come in, you know, the last 2 days. The objective is to get to Saturday night, and like you say, there's another 5 players in there, and we all feel the same. We all feel confident, you know, and obviously the same as always, there can be only one.
Well, being the only one, the fact that you have done it here before on a Saturday night, does that give you a slight advantage over players that haven't done it?
I suppose on paper it does, you know, but there's some quality in there, Phil, you know, so, but like you said, as always, I'll prepare myself right. I'll go into the games, you know, with 100% confidence, and let's see what happens.
How much do you think you have to put on your game as a percentage tonight to win it?
I've just got to do me. If I do me, I win. You know, there's no middle ground, you know, but obviously I've still got to play, because like you say, the standard, it's great in there, but if I go up there and Colin does Colin, I'll win.
Well, Colin, wish you all the very best ahead of the action.
Thank you.
Connor, here we are, finals night at the Modus Super Series. Our Group A winner. Nice to have a couple of days off.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad few days off. Obviously, I still threw a couple indoors, because you can go a bit stale after too many days off and stuff, and you almost forget what you were doing when you were playing well. So it's nice just to keep the arm ticking over and things like that.
Confidence must be sky high the way you produced in Group A to win that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of confidence coming into this. I know I haven't produced my best stuff. Obviously, I know I had a good average in there, but it was. I know there's a lot more in the tank, so it would be nice if it come out when it mattered.
Did you watch any of Groups B and C?
No, I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched Colin quite closely, as he told me on the Wednesday that he was going to see me Saturday. So I watched that closely to see if he would or not, and he did, and in emphatic fashion as well. It was quite good. I didn't stay up late enough to see B, but I saw a few of the interviews and things like that.
Do you see Colin as a bit of a rival this evening then?
Yeah. I mean, he's in my group, so I suppose I've got to look out for Colin. But we've played loads of times. I know Colin very well, and he knows me very well. So it should be some good games.
You've picked up titles all over the place so far in 2024. What would it mean to add a weekly win to the CV?
It would mean an awful lot. Even if I'm not 100% comfortable on the stage yet, I've been on a few stages and things like that now, and that's the only one I can't quite grasp yet. So I'm hoping tonight's the night I find my feet up there, so to say. So it should be fun.
Well, Connor, we wish you the very best ahead of play.
Thank you very much.
All right, I'm talking.
Oh, yeah. Love that. And so does he.
opening match of finals night about to get underway. Colin Osborne, who had a brilliant Group C campaign, ended up being runner-up despite being just a dark way from being the best ever campaign in Group C. But Connor Scott, the sniper, well, he shot down all his opponents in Group A, including Colin Osborne, over the 3-day group, and he was excellent in it. Fantastic stuff from this man, who goes into finals night as a very, very strong favourite. Kicks off against the Wizard, of course, a former champion on that stage, former grand finalist on that stage, lost out to Luke Littler here at the Super Series, but he'll have his work cut out against Scott in the opener. And guiding you through the action this evening are Matthew Edgar and Phil Bars.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to finals night here at the Modus Super Series. The bookies' favourite, Connor Scott, there, just getting through his prep and takes on the Wizard, Colin Osborne. But Matt, just listening to you chat with Murph earlier, 7-4, it's hard to oppose that right now.
The only thing I can use to oppose it is the lack of success that Connor Scott has had upon that stage. But he's been putting that right this week. He's won his Group A campaign. And one thing we know about Connor Scott, he's a very thinking darter. He hasn't just gone and chilled out and had a couple of days off. He's gone back home. He's prepared properly. He's prepared right. And I expect that tonight we're going to see the best of Connor Scott. I agree with what Connor Scott says. When he spoke to you earlier on, Phil. There is more in the tank. He has yet to show his best on that stage. The beauty for him now is he's got an opportunity tonight to make it shine at the right time.
He does. But he has taken on the man that has won on the stage here at the Live Lounge, and that is the Wizard, Colin Osborne. Tasted success here, and he'd love to do it again.
I wasn't convinced with his answer, though, Phil, when you asked him that question, is it an advantage? I don't think he sees that as an advantage. I don't think he sees that as a benefit, where had he been a different sort of personality or character, maybe he could have used that in the practice room to let the other people know he's the only guy who's had that success. But
97.
He was sort of trying to say it's all down to the night.
164.
Oh, I'm absolutely with you on this. It's not going to go. If I was in his situation, as soon as I'd have walked
96.
in, I'd have been letting everyone know
Colin requires
I've won here before, you haven't.
64. Colin requires
just going through his routines at the back of the stage. He's very regimented in his approach to the sport.
48. Colin requires 94.
Presents itself early here to get a breaker throw against the big favourites.
Needs to find a treble, cannot, so Scott will return.
54.
Looking at double 10
Connor
to hold
20.
in the opener.
$15.
Can't get it done though.
Colin requires 40.
They get amplified. Them moments become bigger when you're on a finals night, when you're on a Saturday night.
This was the Achilles heel in his Group C. His top to 10s was not good,
30.
and he can't do it again.
It was the
Connor
doubles in general, wasn't it, for
5.
Osborne? Just took a little bit too long. We said when you come to Saturday night, you've got to tighten that up.
Game
Because
on
you
the
won't get
first
away
leg.
with it.
Connor Scott.
That's the calibre of Connor Scott. But a sluggish start
Second
there
leg.
for Connor.
Colin to throw
Maybe
first.
once again just
Game on.
feeling whatever that stage makes him feel. It's not like he's unfamiliar to stages. He played on the biggest stage of them all. Not too long ago, he was on the Alexandra Palace stage.
140.
He was on it twice because he won his first game by 3-0 against Krzysztof Kachuk before going down to the Iceman.
140.
Yeah, I firmly believe that Connor Scott will go to Milton Keynes in January and get his card back.
134.
He may not need to go to Milton Keynes because the way in which he is playing at the moment, and he's only a couple of places off at the moment in regards to the Challenge Tour order of merit.
140.
I'd be surprised if Connor Scott has to play Q School. I don't expect him to be in Milton Keynes. I don't expect him to be here next year at the Super Series. This might be his
97.
main chance to actually get Super Series success. Because once he gets that card back, I don't think we're going to see him again.
I agree. I think it's very much like the Nathan Aspinall story.
Colin
He lost his card,
130.
and we all know once he won it back what happened. I think the same for Connor.
He's got his hands full here with Colin Osborne. Colin has a look over to the scoreboard. He's got a choice here. He can go for the ball. Or does he play the setup and mind game? Goes straight for it.
105.
Believes that Connor Scott
requires
can take out this 164, and he would be right to be wary.
I agree with being wary, but I also like mind games, so I'd have planted the
Colin
seed.
requires 25.
Come back, Colin. It's not there.
This can be unsettling.
$17. Connor requires 45.
It'll be a very frustrated figure should Connor Scott get this now. Slack.
13.
Wasn't able to recover the situation.
Colin requires
Bit
8.
edgy on the doubles here. Connor Scott 1 from 6. Osborne 6 starts with no success. The missed doubles continue to add up here for Colin Osborne. He finally gets one on the board, and
Colin Osborne.
there we have a sigh of relief there from the Wizard. Wonder if he expected to be seeing Connor Scott this early,
Connor
though.
to throw first.
I like what
Game
Connor
on.
Scott said when he said Colin on the way out was like, "I'll see you Saturday, pal." Obviously confident getting through that Group C campaign, but I bet he didn't expect it to be this. I'll see you Saturday in the opening game.
Yeah. First one. Let's get it on.
60.
But Connor Scott starting to find that first start right now.
140.
And when he goes to this place, I'm not sure Osborne can live with the scoring prowess of Scott.
81. $85.
Especially when it comes on the throw. Connor Scott does have the advantage of the darts as being the Group A winner. Which means he doesn't need to break Osborne, just 4 hole to throw, which sounds so easy.
Connor requires 136.
But this leg could come quite easy for him.
Double 8.
Game
Brilliant.
shot in the third
Absolutely
leg.
brilliant from
Scott.
Connor Scott. The 136 goes clean, crisp, and clinical from the
Fourth
sniper.
leg. Colin to throw first.
And a good sign of
Game
confidence there, that he didn't need any validation for that. And by that, sometimes you see someone take a big finish, they're looking at their opponent, they're waiting for a fist bump, they want a cuddle. Connor Scott, head was down. It was almost expected for him there. It was just a
140.
moment. It was just 3 darts. It wasn't anything big to him. It was just all in his strides.
140.
He is just starting to move through the gears here. Averaging a touch under 97, but only 2 from 7.
95.
We've seen what he's capable of this week. That monstrous average
40.
of 120. And that wasn't the only big average he had that day. His other games, he had a 91, a 98, and 105.
96.
Osborne, though, down to a finish. Connor Scott can't leave one from here. So just like in the last leg when Connor Scott had it all his
60.
own way,
Colin
with the
requires
darts,
170.
Colin Osborne having the same luxury of time.
Another. Is he going to go fishing?
145.
But we'll be back.
$140. Colin requires 25. 17. Connor
Big
requires
miss. Did
121.
kill his heel once again there for Colin Osborne. And he could pay the price.
91.
Well, he got the line
Colin
right.
requires
Just didn't get
8.
the way to the dart, and Colin Osborne breathes again, but problems here, Phil. Only 9%, 1 from 11 on the outer ring.
Yeah, needs to put
Game
that
John,
right
the
and has
fourth
done.
leg.
We have a level
Colin
game,
Osborne.
but you just feel that Osborne is just
Fifth
hanging
leg.
on at the
Connor to
moment.
throw first. Game on. $121.
How important could leg number 1 be? Because Connor Scott clung on to his throw. Osborne had chances to break. But since then, Connor Scott has found a new
100.
level. Started to find what we know he's capable of, certainly with the darts.
Also, a good time there, saying good evening to our chat room. And
100.
Adam Paxton is in, says good evening, Phil and Matt. Good evening to you, my friend.
$180.
Well, Connor Scott's been finding a lot on the throw, and to land a blow, it was either going to be a big finish or a maximum.
100.
Colin Osborne's found the max. He may still need the big finish as well, but he is making inroads on the Connor Scott throw. He is showing why he has won a week here before, why he has reached a PDC major final.
180.
The 180 cards get hoisted into the air for back-to-back visits for the Wizards.
100.
All of a sudden,
Colin requires
break
41.
opportunity for Osborne. 41 to lead this one. It's going to be 2 at tops. Only
Game
needs
on
the
the
one.
fifth leg.
Osborne leads
Colin
3-2.
Osborne.
It's a break of throw. And all of a sudden, the favourite is under pressure.
Sixth leg. Colin to throw
And it's
first.
not because he's done anything wrong. It's because Colin Osborne went to that elite level.
Game on.
Put the foot on the gas. 11 dart leg. Back-to-back maxes. We said it'll take something special to beat Connor Scott tonight, and that was special.
$85.
What has Connor Scott got in response?
$97.
Osborne will be thinking, just 1 treble per visit. That will do me. That will give me an opportunity.
81.
Because every time he hits one, he's forcing Scott to hit at least 2
100.
treble visits.
In this position, you just want to cling to the opposition and just hope that that mistake presents itself. That trebleless visit. And there
60.
it is. This is the chance. This is the opportunity. This is the moment. Connor Scott, a player who reads the game well, understands the game well, will know exactly what we are talking about right now.
125.
And it could be a deflection that costs him.
Yeah, cruel deflection there. You saw the dart
Can
career
we turn that radio mic down, please?
off of the other 2 darts into the 5, not leaving a finish. AD Mason, our referee, just conducting the stage there.
Just trying to make sure that he leaves a finish here, Colin Osborne. 2:05 remaining, so there's no easy way to do it. It would
90.
have to be a treble. Connor Scott has stolen the darts back here. 6 darts on 179.
99.
Massive last start there. Gets him down to 80. Osborne is now relying on Scott to miss.
Should get at least a dart. But how much of this can Osborne shave off?
We've seen that a few times this week. I'm not so sure Colin might need a little trip to the opticians.
35.
Does he likes to step in
Connor
off the hockey and have a
requires
look?
80.
Well, no much damage done there by Colin Osborne. Connor Scott's going to get 2 darts. Only
Game's on
needs
this
the 1. A
sixth
great
leg.
response there from
Connor
Connor Scott.
Scott.
Both players bringing out the very best in each other here in just fixture number 1. Let's hope this
7th and final
is a sign
leg.
of things
Connor
to
to
come
throw
tonight.
first. Game on.
Yeah, fantastic from Scott to break straight back. And now he goes favourite.
133.
A win here, and the manner of the performance would just let everyone else in that practice room know I'm the favourite for a reason. You are going to have to
45.
beat me. Colin Osborne produced a magical leg to break the throw, but could not back it up.
174.
And now he's stamping his authority. 5 big power darts out of the first 6. When you're against the darts in a last leg shootout and your opponent does this, you just get that
95.
horrible sinking feeling because you feel at this point the game's already gone and it might be going in the next couple of throws.
153.
We're sending a real message here. A statement of intent from the sniper. Leaves 41 after 9.
When does he settle on that stage is a
55.
question we've been asking.
Connor requires 41.
It looks like that moment is now.
2 at double 16. Double 8, but has time on his side.
33.
Will return.
Expect to see Osborne starting down here just to keep that clarity of thought. But it's another 6 darts here for Connor Scott.
59.
And it may be more.
Connor requires 8.
Double 4 for the points. It's not really a marker.
4.
Interesting point there, Matt. I'm not sure that dart was in the hand properly. I think he perhaps should have stepped back and just re-gripped it there.
He does have a scallop in the dart, which sort of guides him to exactly where he wants it to be. So, yeah, if it's not set properly, there will be a bit of lift.
140.
But now there's urgency.
Connor requires 4.
Osborne has asked the question. Has Scott got the answers? Can he go to the side? Madhouse. And
Game.
Connor Scott
Shot.
gets the job done.
And the match. Connor
The
Scott.
favourite is off and running. A 4-3 victory over the Wizard. The average came down slightly in that deciding leg because of the missed darts at doubles. Still 95-24 and a 1-3-6 finish as the players walk off. There's the tail of the tape. 2 points for Connor Scott. He is off and running. But coming up after the break, the heavyweight clash between Ashley Coleman and Fallon Sherrick.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we are one game down on finals night, and Connor Scott just got an indication that he's not going to have it all his own way. A big favourite, but a bit of a scare survived there against Colin Osborne in the opening match of the evening in Group 1. But attention now turns to Group 2 and a meeting between the Queen of the Palace, Fallon Sherrock, and a social media star in Ashley Coleman, who I'm sure a few of you are tuning in to see. He's very happy to be here at finals night, and Phil Bars spoke to both players earlier on.
Fallon, here we are, another finals night here at the Modus Super Series. But what are the emotions like right now? Because last night you put, obviously, yourself through the ringer, your friends, family, everyone watching. It was a tough night.
Yeah, no, very tough. I mean, I probably could have made it a bit easier, but I put so much pressure on myself. And I'm like, why are you doing that again? You don't work doing that. But yeah, no, I'm just happy to get through, to be honest. So today's a different day, another finals night. So hopefully I can produce some really good darts tonight, because I haven't this week yet.
We know you went home last night. Was that needed just to clear the mind, clean everything out, and just attack today with a fresh mind?
Yeah, 100%. I think that drive just kind of like chilled me out a little bit, because I had such bad anxiety yesterday, and I was like, what is going on? What's going on? But yeah, no, definitely going back, you know, getting Rory, he's coming to watch tonight. So hopefully it kind of distresses me a little bit, and, you know, get to watch his mum play.
Look, you played at the Winter Gardens, Madison Square Garden, Ali Pally, but it means something you coming here and winning, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this actually does mean something, because I've got so close so many times just to get through to finals night and then get through to the final, but I've never actually won. And I really want to win at Portsmouth. Like, that is just one of my things on my bucket list, and hopefully tonight I can kind of, you know, do that. But we'll see how it goes, and hopefully I can just produce the darts that I kind of did on the Women's Week, if I can hit a couple of 100 averages and kind of just put some pressure behind my opponents.
Fans are in tonight as well, and we know you thrive under that environment. Do you think that will serve you well this evening, having a different atmosphere?
Hopefully, because obviously then, you know, there's some cheering, there's some clapping, you know, you want to hear a 180, so they just cheer a little bit, so it's not just dead quiet. So hopefully it works out better, because when it's dead quiet, this definitely goes overtime. You
talk about the mindset, and we know that you produce your best when you need to. What are you expecting this evening from yourself?
Hopefully just play well. Just try and relax, play well, and just try and just get as many wins as I can. And even if I'm like behind, just try and get as many legs, just try and get it back, just get the pressure, and just kind of go back to basics. Like, try not to overthink.
Well, Fallon, wish you all the very best ahead of play.
Thank you.
Ashley, welcome to finals night. We know this is something that you've wanted for a while. You've been building up to it. What are the nerves like right now?
No nerves. I never get nervous because of me ADHD, but excitement and adrenaline, yes.
Your Group B campaign was very mixed. There was some good stuff. There was some ordinary stuff. What was it like going through yesterday, knowing that you had one foot in the final and then had a couple of games to go?
I think I was overcompensating, and I was trying so hard, because I was like, I missed out by 4 legs on Group A. Why am I not there now? And then, of course, you try too hard, and then nothing goes to plan.
Is it almost just that mind reset tonight, clean slate, and just go and attack this final?
Yeah, well, it's a finals night. Finals night's a different night. You can't even account any result that is, or standard of any player this week. We can go up there tonight and all of us could hit 100s, or all of us could hit 70s. It's just the way it goes.
How excited are you to play in front of an audience here this evening?
It's very exciting, because I've never had like this sort of structured game. I played county. County's one thing, but when it's a fan-based environment, it's awesome. Couldn't pay for this.
There's a showman in you, obviously.
No.
I know you all want to win, but is it striking a balance between entertaining and winning, or is it just be yourself?
Tonight it's all game, all serious. If I do show off, I do show off. If I don't show off, I don't show off. It's one of them.
And what would it mean if in a few hours' time you were lifting that trophy?
I think the dart ref might cry. I think my parents might cry. There might be some very emotional social media posts. I might even end up on the floor crying. We don't know, but we'll see how it goes, and we'll see what emotions I bring out at the time.
Well, Ashley, wish you all the very best ahead of finals.
Cheers.
Double 16.
Game shot and the match.
Not the
Ashley
9,
Coleman.
but pretty much a perfect 10.
Nick here looking to try and break the Scott throw, but again, 2 darts at the double, and this time makes no mistake before. But as we mentioned in the last game between Cam and Jameson, that sometimes it just takes a little bit of time to settle in, to feel comfortable, to play the darts you know you're capable of.
Wow, 121.
Brilliant stuff.
Game shot of
Absolutely
first
brilliant
leg.
stuff. Had no
Ashley
need to
Coleman.
go that route, but he's found 2 trebles and a double. Both players have done that in this match, but it is Ashley who gets the victory. But Coleman claims it. Yeah, he's a great character, isn't he, Ashley Coleman? And a few fans packed into the live lounge here to witness him and, of course, the Queen of the Palace, Fallon Sherrock, on the Super Series stage right now. Sherrock, of course, who made history on that stage when she hit the 9-dart finish here last year, the first female player ever to hit a broadcast 9-darter. And Ashley Coleman, well, there is a fantastic feature available on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel going into the Prince of Darkness's lair that went live today. You can catch it at the end of today's show. He takes on Fallon Sherrock, MBE, in his opening match of the evening as the Prince meets the Queen. And King of the Comms box, Matthew Edgar, is alongside, well, what does that make Phil Bars? Probably the court jester, I guess. All yours, guys.
Thank you very much, some might say, the famous Mr. Phil Bars. But this is a game that we have seen a few times this week, and it's always delivered, Matt, that it's taken great darts in a deciding leg on 2 consecutive nights from Ashley Coleman to get the job done. So we're expecting more this evening.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? To Ashley Coleman, he's got the job done in the group stages, but he's very well aware, and he said it himself there, didn't he, that what's happened before, the games that have come, the results that have come mean nothing on a Saturday when the environment completely changes. This uncharted waters for Ashley Coleman, the first time he's been here on a Saturday night. And he certainly earned his place here this week. He has been one of the standout players across both his Group A and Group B campaign. And he's hoping to draw some emotion, isn't he, on a couple of people. He named many people at the start of the show there who would be in tears, himself included, should he be able to get the job done. And
100
that is everything you want in a dart player. A good player, an entertainer, but to draw emotion. That really does tick that entertainer box.
45.
Yeah, it's intriguing as well, because Ashley in his Group A was sensational, narrowly missing out.
57.
But his Group B campaign was very much Jekyll and Hyde, because last night there were frailties, and I'm interested to see how he bounces back and puts them behind him this evening.
100.
He's just got to subscribe to the logic and the thought patterns of, it was pretty much job done, I wasn't playing with adrenaline, I wasn't playing with as much purpose, and maybe just took the foot off the gas a little bit. That would be the school of thought I would certainly be subscribing to, because he had the job done early, because he was 99. Better than the players in the group.
Ashley requires
You've always got to throw
124.
a spin of positive.
It's a dart of the ball. It doesn't
86.
go, so an early opportunity for Sherrock to
Fallon
break.
requires 32.
Looking at double 16. Double 8. Is that a good guide?
16.
Opportunity missed.
Ashley requires 38.
Coleman is going to split it.
Game shot
And
on
holds.
the first leg. Ashley Coleman.
Fallon had her opportunity, couldn't take it, and Coleman steps in to lead 1-0.
Second leg. Fallon to throw first. Game on. $60.
She never really looked settled, did she, Fallon, in that Group B campaign? She did mention
96.
that she gets nervous at times and sort of sort of puts too much pressure on herself, and I can vouch for that. I can understand what she's trying to say when she says that, because sometimes you go, right, I've got this
83.
goal, I want to do this, I want to do that, and you lay it all out, and actually that pressurizes the situation so much more, because sometimes you can't compensate for what happens against you. Someone goes up and does what Connor Scott did earlier in the week with 120 average, or takes out a big finish somewhere, and a lot of the time you play your best when you don't focus on the goal and the result, but you focus on the performance. And then ultimately, the performance should be good enough to get you the results you want. The win should be the byproduct of doing the right
100.
things. And when you focus in the wrong area, that's when you get that anxiety, and that's what Fallon's trying to describe there.
Yeah, and also I think there was perhaps a little bit of scar tissue from the last
100.
time she was here, because, again, she had a really good Thursday and then kind of fluffed her lines on the Friday, and I think that maybe that was in the back
65.
of her mind as well.
Fallon requires 118.
We saw this go last night, a big moment,
Game
and it goes again as well.
Fallon
Fallon
Sherrick.
Sherrick pins the 118 for a 15-dart holder throw.
Third leg, Ashley to throw first.
It's 1-1.
Game on.
But I'm sure in the back of Fallon's mind, she will think she should be 2-0 to
41.
the good. And we know when Fallon's at her best, when she's produced her best moments on TV, Matt,
59.
the clutch finishing has been the difference. I go back to the World Championship run, the run to the Nordic Masters final against Dimitri, the comeback.
96.
And for me, her best performance on TV at the Grand Slam, the finishing was just sublime.
I don't think that's just for you, Phil. I think that's everybody who watched that tournament, who watched Fallon play in 2021. The run to the quarter-final, taking on Peter Wright.
60.
An on-song Peter Wright. A peak of his powers, Peter Wright, and pushing him all the way.
It was the group game
92.
against Clemens as well, when she had to win 3 legs on the spin, did, including a 1-4-1 finish and that 170 finish
60.
to book her place in the knockout stages.
But she's making the move once again here on the Ashley Coleman throw.
This is a very different Fallon Sherrick tonight
123.
than the Fallon we saw less than 24 hours ago.
He's really good,
Fallon
Ashley Coleman, at
requires
working around the
87.
dart when he's got that blocker dart in. But it's a clean open target here for Fallon Sherrick, and she's getting better.
Leg.
A 15 darter backed up by a 14 darter. A breaker throw. Fallon Sherrick is in control.
Fourth leg, Fallon to throw first. Game on.
Two of Fallon's
59.
biggest fans are here this evening as well. Her dad and son Rory have made the trip to the live lounge
45.
here.
$100.
Can be quite comforting as well, having some family and friends in. You don't get in the week in your Group A's, B's and C's.
135.
Get into the venue, surrender all communication with the outside world, and then you're in the practice room, and the only people you've got with you are your opposition.
100. $140.
This is better from Coleman though.
$140.
Another thing I've noticed in the Fallon game is her miss is high tonight, where it was low the last couple of nights.
105.
That's just a sign of tension, isn't it?
Fallon
Within the
requires
Fallon throw.
102.
She's dropping low. It's just not moving freely. She could bail herself out of a situation here.
62. Ashley
Look at
requires
missed
76.
opportunity, and Ashley Coleman now could get the breaker throw straight back.
36.
An
Fallon
opportunity
requires
he cannot
40.
take So Fallon for a 3-1 lead.
Game shot on the fourth
Pins
leg.
tops.
Fallon Sherritt.
The Queen of the Palace has the Prince of Darkness under pressure.
Fifth leg, Ashley to throw first. Game on. $66.
Just the demeanour as well about Fallon tonight, isn't it? Much more focused. She knows what it takes to win, but she's not done it yet on that stage. A bucket list win it would be for Fallon Sherritt as she's described it.
$60.
That just shows as well how highly regarded the Super Series is now for the
59.
players. When you look at the stages Fallon Sherritt's won on and played on, but she says winning here is a bucket list, not just a desirable. Something that is
134.
a very high priority. She's down to a finish after 9.
140. Fallon requires 167.
This would be some way to win it. It's not going to go, so Coleman will return, looking at 56 to keep his hopes alive and move within 1 of Fallon.
95. Ashley requires 56.
Was always going to try and leave tops. It's been a friend
Game
of his
on the
all week
fifth
and
leg.
continues to be so
Ashley
tonight.
Coleman.
But if he's going to win this game, he needs to get a
Sixth
break
leg.
of throw.
Fallon to throw first.
And that
Game
moment
on.
is now.
$59.
Does that open the door early in this leg?
Oh, a troublous visit with the first shot of the game, absolutely.
60.
With a let off there for Fallon.
58.
It's always been an edgy moment, a nervy moment, an unsettling moment when these two have gone against each other this week.
100.
That's the perfect first start. You just knew, Matthew. You just knew.
180.
Typewriter 180, left to right, take them out.
140.
All things pretty much tied after the opening 9. So that advantage of throw really comes into play here for Fallon.
60.
Can't find a treble, though. So this is a chance for Coleman. It's now a big chance.
177.
The perfect
Fallon
setup.
requires 144.
Unless Fallon can produce something special.
The only way you can describe that from Ashley Coleman is a
58.
touch of class.
Ashley requires 24.
For a level game.
Game shot
And it
the
is.
sixth flag. Ashley Coleman.
It's a 13 dart break back for Coleman. We are level at 3-all, and we shouldn't be
Seventh
surprised.
and final leg. Ashley to throw
Their
first.
2 previous
Game on.
meetings in Group B all went the same, and we had fireworks in the decider each time.
123. $125.
Both players digging deep, finding plenty.
100.
Our first game this evening went to a last leg shootout. Connor Scott getting the better of Colin Osborne by 4 legs to 3.
140.
This game going all the way, but a high quality decider.
45.
And is that the mistake? Coleman slips in to the 5, and can Fallon punish that? The answer, Matt,
140.
is yes. Sensational. 96 after 9 from Fallon Sherritt.
2 big power trebles with every visit here from Fallon Sherritt. This is how
45.
you perform against the darts.
Fallon
Ashley
requires
Coleman
96.
not leaving a finish. Fallon Sherritt's got 6 darts here to cross the line.
8 to seal victory.
Game,
And that
shot,
is sensational
and the
from the
match,
Queen of the
Fallon
Palace.
Sherrock.
Her dad claps along with a massive smile on his face. Fallon beats Ashley Coleman. Coleman had the better of the exchanges in Group B, but it is Fallon this evening, averaging 98.03, one maximum, 50% on the outer ring. The Queen of the Palace bags the points. Coming up after the break, we go back to Group 1 in a must-win for Colin Osborne.
Welcome back. Well, a couple of close ones to kick off the evening here at finals night for week 8 of Series 8 here at the Modus Super Series. Fallon Sherrock just beating Ashley Coleman there for the first time this week, the third time their meetings have gone to a last leg decider. And Colin Osborne also involved in a last leg decider in the first match against Connor Scott. He was on the wrong end of it, so now needs to win his second game or he will be heading home. That means Gert de Vos could be through the game to spare. He's about to take to stage for the first time tonight, but he did speak to Phil Bars earlier.
Gert, welcome to finals night here at the Modus Super Series. It's been a long week. How would you assess your form across the groups?
First of all, thank you. Yeah, it was a long week. I'm here all alone, so it's all long days. But my form is pretty well. Yesterday I was struggling because on Thursday I had a good run. That helped me a lot. And I've put everything on the first game yesterday, and I've won it, and everything came down to me. And I was struggling then, but it's okay. I qualified for finals day.
Well, it's interesting you talk like that, because once you know that you are in finals night, is it hard to get motivated for games that don't really mean something?
Normally not, but yesterday it was like, I don't know what happened. It came down on me. I was happy, too happy maybe, I don't know.
Look, you've won big things. What would it mean to win here at the Modus Super Series?
It would be great. I think I would be the first Belgian as well, so I'll do my best.
Looking at your group, are you expecting a really tough group to get into the semi-finals?
Yes, it is, because Connor, he won Group A, so he's in good form. and Colin, I've won 2 out of 3, so I see my chances. So we'll see.
Are you targeting that game with Colin then as the big game in the group that you have to win that one?
This is my first game, so I have to win the first game, then I'm more relaxed the second game.
Do you think your experience that you have on big stages such as Lakeside will give you a little bit of advantage over players that haven't played on a big stage in front of a crowd?
I hope so. It's been a long time ago now, so I'll see. I don't know what it brings.
Well, Gert, wish you all the very best ahead of the action.
Thank you.
Yeah, it would be a significant win. It's 2 at tops. Osborne peers over his shoulder and will not like what he saw. To the 9 for another one. Oh wow. Brilliant from DeVos. Tied this up at 2-2.
16s. Leaves the ball. That could be the big moment. When we talk about 6 darts that can separate the leg and separate the match.
Can Gert DeVos be the boss here at the Modus Super Series? He did manage to just pip Colin Osborne at the post in terms of qualifying for Group B earlier in the week. The pair could not be separated on points in their Group A campaigns, but DeVos got a couple of wins against Osborne on Tuesday and Wednesday. Osborne, of course, on his last life already after that early defeat to Connor Scott. But if the Middlesbrough man manages to win this game 4-2 or better, he will be through. However, defeats, and Gert DeVos will go through himself with a game to spare. The 2015 World Darts Trophy champion will qualify for the semi-finals alongside Connor Scott. And alongside Matthew Edgar in the commentary box, it's back to Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Murph. And here we go. It is all or nothing for Colin Osborne here. Must win, otherwise it's an early exit. But sometimes, Matt, that can get you in a good mindset, knowing that you have to win. It is effectively knockout darts early.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Colin to throw first. Game on.
Especially when you look at Colin Osborne's performance in game number 1 against Connor Scott. It was a very, very good performance. It was just Connor really put the afterburners on in the last leg.
46.
We don't know what to expect from Gert DeVos. Gert DeVos doesn't know what to expect from him, but you can tell from what he's been saying, he's very happy
60.
to be here on a Saturday night. He's not played a lot of darts recently, certainly at the highest level, and preparation been very disturbed. He's been moving house recently, so hasn't had a board up, hasn't been
60.
able to get himself where he'd want to sort of mentally, because that's what the practice does. It mentally prepares you for the task and gets you believing in your ability.
81.
So he'll be mightily happy to be through to Saturday night here competing, knowing that if he beats Colin Osborne, he goes through.
Yeah, across the qualifying stages of action for tonight's final, we have seen the good, the bad and the ugly from Gert DeVos.
79.
Osborne needed that maximum. Hadn't started the leg well. But how
59.
that has changed down to a finish. And DeVos needs a couple of trebles just to get himself down to a finish as well.
86. Colin requires 156.
Not going to go on this occasion, but this is where the Group A winner gets that little bit of an advantage. If he did go off and win that first game like Connor Scott has, he's now got 2 chances. He can sit here and hope that Gert DeVos wins, which will guarantee himself through. And if not,
57.
he's got his own chance to go up and beat
Colin
Gert DeVos in the last
62.
game.
62 for Osborne. Tops for a 1-0 lead.
22.
It doesn't go
Gert requires 138.
unless DeVos can take out the Humphreys.
36. Colin requires 40.
So coming back, 3 clear darts in hand for Osborne to take a 1-0 lead. That's a great guide. And
Game's
uses it
on
well.
the first leg. Colin Osborne.
A slow start here from Gert de Vos, and that will concern
Second
him.
leg. Gert to throw first.
When you're not quite
Game
sure
on.
where your game is, you need the dartboard to tell you it's going well. You need the trebles to be flowing. You need everything to happen
100.
early. You start missing early on, and it tends to continue.
We've seen different versions of the Osborne
28.
shirt this week. Same shirt, just different colours. But the fact he's got his beloved Middlesbrough red on finals night, that's not by accident, is it?
100.
No, and again, a good sign of confidence there. We see some people come down to the Super Series. They don't even book the hotel for the Saturday night. Colin Osborne was here prepared and ready for the whole
99.
campaign.
Don't know if you saw it, but there was a great picture on social media from Andy Bolton, who recently played here off the back of, I think he played Challenge Tour, Pro Tour.
60.
Came straight here, and a picture of his washing line. There must have been 8 or 9 different versions of his shirt. Tell me you're a dart player without telling me you're a dart player.
140.
And they'd all go straight back in the suitcase and back on the road. It's better from Gert de Vos.
121.
Does need early positivity in regards to the board telling him that information. But again, the flow, the rhythm of Colin Osborne disturbed because he's not sure where the dart has landed.
100. Gert requires
Going to
120.
need addressing, you feel, at some point for the Wizard.
Single for tops. Tops for a level game.
80.
It's not going to go.
Colin
But
requires
this is tricky.
134.
134. Is he old school or new school? It's gone the old school way. Many go treble 18, tops now, Matt, in that situation.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot this week as well, that attempted
92.
route. But it's just the one
Gert
tops
requires
needed here for Gert de
40.
Vos to level up the game.
Game's on the second leg.
Got there in the
Gert
end.
de Vos.
Big dart. You can see the relief because
Third leg.
I had
Colin
no
to throw
confidence after those first 2 darts,
Game
and I'm
on.
sure de Vos felt the same. Because those first 2 darts was very floaty. Very hopeful.
Hopeful's a good word in that situation.
100.
You're throwing them, hoping they're going, instead of throwing them and making them go in. Anyone that's played will understand that, won't they? When you throw a safe dart and hope, or when you throw an aggressive dart
140.
at it.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see, just from the reaction as well of Gert de Vos,
60.
the puff of the cheeks. Sometimes getting through those nervy moments, those edgy moments, gets you going for the rest of the game.
67. $140.
Talking about shirts a minute ago, Matt, have you still got your
140.
famous Edgar Mania shirt at home from the World Championship?
Framed. All still pristine. Spelling mistake and everything.
100.
Are
Gert
you a
requires
collector of your things,
154.
what you do well in, or do you let them go?
Not traditionally. I've got a few bits. Nothing too drastic.
94. Colin requires 101.
Big moments here. Gert de Vos is ready to pounce. Unless Osborne finds a treble 19, which he doesn't.
41.
So break opportunity.
Gert requires 60.
Again, very wayward with the first one on top. So that's
20.
almost identical
Colin
to the last throw.
requires 60.
The only thing this time was he didn't have an extra dart, the third dart. In order to get the double, Colin Osborne, same equation. He will stay out of the way, even if he's close. The flat line dart opens up the bed.
Game shot on the
He
third leg.
regains the lead.
Colin Osborne.
Reminder that Colin Osborne can qualify in this game if he is able to pick
Fourth
up
leg,
a
Gert
result
to throw
of
first.
4-2
Game
or
on.
better. If he is to do that, you feel this breaker throw opportunity here is the one he's going to need.
60.
Yeah, and the overhead shot we got there, especially on the DeVos dart, show how much they kick to one side, and that 60 approach, it's not an easy one for him. It's almost as if he needs to add the flatty
40.
to his repertoire, because we saw that it was awkward the way it was sat.
41. $85.
It's a big last start from Osborne.
We needed a treble to really capitalise on the fact that DeVos is yet to hit one.
100.
Gets one on the 9th time of asking. But Osborne's broken the throw here in the scoring phase, and in a leg that could really put him in a good position in regards to his qualification.
60.
DeVos needs a minimum.
100.
Like I say, a minimum of 140, but couldn't find it.
Yeah, 2 trebles required there for DeVos. But Osborne continues to make his move. He finds 2 trebles himself.
140.
Leaves himself on a potential 2-darter to get the breaker throw. That would put him in a very, very strong position to move into the semi-finals, be the first name into the semi-finals.
Colin requires
This is almost
76.
dreamland for Osborne to go within one of the semi-finals, but needs to rescue the situation. Can't do it.
60.
DeVos has a chance to level it up.
103.
Big ask here for DeVos in this situation, the context of the finish. He takes off the 3.
It was a happy accident. That wasn't where the dart was meant to go.
Colin
I don't think any of
requires
those darts were
16.
where they were supposed to go. But we know where Colin Osborne's looking here. He's going to start at the 888. He'll be hoping to finish on the 888. Just takes an extra moment due to the extra context around this dart. 2-2, one more chance.
Game shot on the
Hits
fourth
it
leg.
straight in the middle.
Colin
Osborne, I think he's aware of what he needs here. He's played here many times before. He has won
Fifth
on a
leg.
Saturday
Colin
night
to
here
throw
before. He's
first.
made a Super Series final. He knows
Game
the
on.
context on Saturday night. He knows the equation. 2 points and a positive leg difference. He will have that if he wins any of the next 2 legs.
Also, loving the Bob Anderson finger point.
85.
Giving it to that 2-2.
$140.
Those darts from DeVos just look to me a little bit quicker for me, and I just think that suits him a little bit better. A bit of pace, a bit of zip in the throw. Just looks tidier.
$96. $100.
The gameplay, the match play here from Colin Osborne, absolutely superb. Just finding enough just to keep himself in
49.
front, to keep his nose in front, to keep that possibility well and truly within his own hands. And now looking to hit big, to hit hard, to dish up a hammer blow at the back end of the leg.
140.
He's 80 points away from being the first name into the semi-finals.
Should get at least one match start if he
Colin
can keep them straight.
80.
Treble 20, double 10, or single for tops. Single, and it is tops for a place in the semi-final.
40.
But he will be back.
He was signalling that was a long way away, but the beauty is he's got another go.
82. Colin
A sizable
requires
win.
40.
The Wizard stares down the target and books his place in the semi-final. The little fist pump there from Osborne says it all. He knew what he had to do, and he has done it. There it is. The man from Middlesbrough is the first name into the knockout stages here at the Modus Super Series this Saturday. There's the tail of the tape. 33% on the outer ring. But coming up after the break, Fallon Sherrick has the opportunity to join Osborne in the semi-finals.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Line.
They've both got the talent where they can reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
Well, what a way to finish. A 12 dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree. Only needs the one.
Shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you saying about efficiency?
Shot on the third leg.
Is
Reece
that
Robinson.
the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Labanowski. Game shot.
Ross Smith, is it
Darius
a 9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot.
Oh, he gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Just like
Darius
that.
Labanowski.
only needs the one. There you can see
that she can unlock at any moment, but that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
Welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him, and is. It was a great guide.
Shot on the first leg, Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andreas Harrison.
Shot on the second leg, Cam Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw, double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we've just seen Colin Osborne book his place in the semi-finals, a familiar position for the Wizard to be in. And Fallon Sherrick can join him if she gets victory in her next game, following up that win against Ashley Coleman in her first. Her opponent, Stuart Kellett, a player who did have a decent PDC career. It's probably about a decade or so ago now since he was playing right at the top of the game. But he's back on the big stage here at the Super Series and looking forward to a tilt at the title. Let's hear from him.
Stuart, welcome to finals night. But before we talk about the action, you promised everyone a haircut, and it's been delivered for the fans here this evening.
I couldn't let everyone down, could I?
Look, how excited are you to be here on finals night at the Super Series?
Yeah, a little bit nervous at the minute, but yeah, I'm buzzing to be here. So it was always the aim before, when I started. So yeah, looking forward to it.
You've played on some of the biggest stages in the world, but there's still nerves and butterflies.
Oh, of course there is. Yeah. It's a long time ago when I was doing well. So yeah, so when I get to these stages again, yeah, it's a bit nerve-wracking. Yeah.
When you got back to the hotel yesterday, did you have a look at the stats and the numbers from your day?
A little bit today because I've had a bit of time to chill out and stuff. So yeah, I played solid enough in the 80s most of the time, but I'm going to have to push that up today to do any damage, I think. So.
Well, it's interesting that you touch on that. How much do you think you're going to have to put on?
I think I'm going to be high 80s, early 90s to have a chance, I think. But then again, darts is all about timing, so hopefully I'll do all the good darts at the right time, yeah.
Is there any expectations on your shoulders ahead of finals night?
No, not really. A little bit of, I want to try and do well because I've got a few people who have come down today, but no, just take it as it comes, basically, yeah.
Everyone's talking about Connor Scott after he won Group A. Is it nice just to go under the radar and let everyone focus on someone
of course, yeah. Obviously I had a little look at the odds to see where they fancy me, and I'm the outsider, but there we go. There's no pressure now, is there? So, yeah.
Do you like that underdog role?
Yeah, of course I do. Nobody likes being the favourite. Well, I don't anyway, so... Yeah.
But Stuart, wish you all the very best ahead of play.
Cheers, Phil. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thinking, where was that in the last leg? Brilliant. Fantastic from Kellett. That leg, he hooked up the scoring power.
It's the smallest target, hits it, takes out the 102. Big hit, big moment.
Yeah, ready to enjoy his moment on the Super Series stage here on a Saturday night, Stuart Kellett. A few have come down to support him from the Manchester area, cheering on Kellett in this one. But he has got a tough task on his hands. Fallon Sherrock, who won her opening match of the evening, a last leg decider victory for the Queen of the Palace when she beat Ashley Coleman for the first time this week, having lost the 7th leg in each of their 2 previous meetings. And if she wins, she is through. As for KO Kellett, well, he's had some fantastic moments in his career, including beating Phil Taylor in a Players' Championship event. Also managed to make it to a Euro Tour final as well. Can he make it to the semi-finals here at the Super Series? We'll find out over his next couple of matches, and guiding you through them, Phil Bars, who was asking the questions to Stuart in that interview, alongside Matthew Edgar.
Thank you very much, Chris. Looking forward to this game. Stuart Kellett told us yesterday
Thank you, ladies
he was
and
going to the
gentlemen.
barbers
First
to have a
leg,
little
Fallon to
trim.
throw
That's
first.
exactly what he's done.
Game on.
We're all ready for finals night here.
Look good, feel good, play good is the school of thought here for Stuart Kellett, who
140.
expects that he's going to have to raise it a little bit. And on the evidence of what we're seeing from Fallon Sherrock in game number 1, he may need to find a little bit more. Did say he was a bit edgy, a bit nervy.
25.
And I can tell you straight away they are nervy darts, those first 3, purely on the angle of entry. There was a bit flatter, which means with Stuart Kellett's grip, that finger on top of the dart just staying on the dart. So he's not opened the hand very early on. He will get into the game, I'm sure, but straight away, that transition of nerves coming out
60.
within the action.
Yeah, and Fallon, having won her first, knows exactly what she has to do here. A win, and she is safely
57.
through.
We talk about those stages in which Stuart Kellett's played on the World Match Play stage. That was 11 years ago. He had his best there. The World Grand Prix he had his best 11 years ago. The World Championship 9 years ago. You can see the pattern.
60.
It will feel like a lifetime ago for Stuart Kellett that he was on those stages. It'll almost feel like he's not the same person, because ultimately we're not the same people he was 10 years ago. He'll think differently. He'll have different experiences.
55. Fallon
And
requires
ultimately
104.
now this is, for Stuart Kellett, the biggest stage he's expected to perform on now moving forward. So no doubt to see a few early nerves,
56.
especially playing a player like Fallon Sherrock.
So Fallon coming back.
Fallon requires
48 for a hold. 2 at double 16. Can she just go north of that dart?
Game
No,
on
she
the
plumps it
first
down the
leg.
side instead.
Fallon Sherrick.
But Fallon Sherrick leads 1-0. There's Fallon's dad in the crowd here at the live lounge.
Second leg, Stewart to throw first.
Her son
Game
Rory
on.
is also here, but he had an iPad in hand earlier. That was more important than mum playing.
I don't know a single child that doesn't prefer the iPad these days.
137.
Don't even think he's in the arena anymore, is he? He's found an office,
100.
a room somewhere within the building, for which he's going to sit and watch some programmes.
Yeah. Sorry, mum, not tonight.
100.
Already leg 2 considerably better from Stuart Kellett here.
90.
Lot of support for Stuart Keller, and
41.
so great to see people coming down from Manchester. That's not a short drive. My geography's not great, but I'm going to say that's 5.5 to 6 hours.
Close. You could probably do it in 4.5.
You'd probably do it in 3, Phil.
What are you insinuating, Matt? Probably 4.5.
Fallon
A good run.
requires 131. $91.
Well, Fallon Sherrick racing through this one.
60.
12 darts
Fallon
thrown,
requires
left on
40.
tops for a breaker throw. It's all coming a bit comfortable at the moment.
Game shot on the second leg. Fallon
It's a
Sherrick.
breaker throw, and Fallon Sherrick is on cruise control
Third
right
leg,
now.
Fallon to
The
throw
average
first.
is well over the 90 mark
Game
again. You and I were chatting up here before play started, and we both expected a better version of Fallon this evening, and that is
55.
exactly what we've got.
Oh, absolutely. Much improved performance tonight from Fallon Sherrick. More focus. Less opportunity as
59.
well. When you look at sort of having more chances, more lives, it can just feel a little bit safe.
140.
Nothing safe about this for Fallon.
Yeah, and I'm
140.
just playing with the numbers here. Fallon needs one more leg, and the worst she'd be
58.
guaranteed is a 9-dart shootout.
Been a while since we've had one of those at the Super Series. We need a 9-dart shootout should all the scores and all the points and all the legs
45.
difference all be matched. All 3 players would go on the stage and have darts version of a penalty shootout.
I think we need more of this in the sport.
Oh,
100.
100%. I love seeing people under pressure and in jeopardy. Not so nice when you're doing it and you're in that situation, but when you're sat here in a nice air-conditioned commentary box.
85.
With a great view over the arena.
Fallon requires 148.
Yeah, this is when you want that jeopardy. But there may not be much jeopardy here. Fallon Sherrick, very, very comfortable. Stuart Kellett said he needed to raise it a little bit.
100.
He's actually dropped off by about 10 points. It's Fallon Sherrick who stepped it up.
Yeah, Sherrick, consistent over
60.
a match and a half
Fallon
so far.
requires 48.
48 is what she pinned in leg 1. Is it repeats?
40.
Well, maybe
Stewart
this is a
requires
moment that Stuart Kellett
112.
needs to get a foothold in the game. A slip, a mistake from Fallon Sherrick. And a chance for Stuart Kellett on a combination finish to break the throw. He's going to get a dart. His first dart at a double
80.
in this game.
Fallon requires 8.
He's not able to convert, and Fallon Sherrick gets a second chance.
Game shot in the third leg. Fallon Sherrick.
Don't want to be giving Fallon second chances when she's in this mood. Clinical from the Queen of the Palace.
Stewart to throw first. Game on. $140.
Colin Osborne already qualified from Group 1. He lost 4-3 to Connor Scott, but then a 4-1 success over Gert de Vos. Means the next game,
58.
Gert de Vos and Connor Scott's going to be a bit of a battle with lots of permutations. We'll let you know what they are. Fallon Sherrick is a leg away herself, and that would be a good situation for Ashley Coleman.
59.
Because should Fallon Sherrick win this game, that Stuart Kellett versus Ashley Coleman game, it doesn't matter what the score is. The winner is through. It's essentially a quarter-final game. So Ashley Coleman fans and Ashley Coleman himself will be hoping that Fallon Sherrick can get over the line. And she is in cruise control.
Like in the chat room this evening,
21.
both Carl Coleman and Tom Cromwell, both played in Group C, are in. Tom says, just got in, 10 hours to get home.
99.
And Phil Barr's number 2 in the chat as well.
Yeah, just below me at the moment.
47. Fallon requires 164. $46. Stewart requires 134.
134 for a hold. It's not going to go. And we've seen Fallon take out this 118
43
before.
Fallon requires 118.
Multiple times. Not on this occasion, but Stuart Kellett, there's a lot of work to be done there on 91. He'll have choices, and with him looking
58.
a little bit edgy here, we may see him just
Stewart
start on the
requires
bullseye.
91.
Just to try and guarantee that dart. Goes aggressive, needs a treble. Not that one. So Fallon Sherrick will return 60 points for a place
59.
in the semi-final.
Fallon requires 60.
Oh,
No
Fallon.
score.
Should have been nowhere near it.
Stewart
Well, she
requires
has played
32.
a lot of darts over in Asia, hasn't she, over the years? Maybe she thought there was master out involved.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Stuart Kellett.
Kellett will not be whitewashed. Punishes the mistake from
Fifth
Fallon.
leg. Fallon to
You
throw
can see
first.
she's livid with herself.
Game on.
She is, but sort of sees the funny side as well. And that's what you kind of got to do. Just laugh those moments off.
43.
So a lot of love in the chat room tonight. We've got
140.
the founding member of my fan club, and we've got you being called the tribal chief.
Oh, I like that.
135.
Good evening, Chris.
Get me to the head of the table.
Still one of the best promos
100.
ever.
Well, if we're looking, who is the tribal chief? Who's head of the table?
140.
Very soon might be Fallon Sherrick if we're looking at a Group 2.
Yeah, Kellett fighting well here.
100.
It's down to a finish, but you would expect Fallon to tidy this up.
He really has found his game at the back end of this match here, Stuart Kellett.
95.
Going through the
Stewart
levels,
requires
starting to find his feet on the
161.
stage.
Yeah, there was a few nerves early on, but if he can find treble 17 and ball, that will certainly settle those nerves.
97. Fallon requires
Another
88.
opportunity for Fallon to get the job done here. It's going to be a dart at the ball.
One match start has
43.
come and gone for Fallon
Stewart
Sherrick.
requires 64.
Stuart Kellett looking to break.
Have we written Stuart Kellett off a little bit too early? One more opportunity, double 10. He hangs
Gage
in.
on the 5th leg. Stuart Kellett.
They are more than happy. Their man's getting back into
6th
this.
leg.
And
Stuart to throw first.
now
Game
that's the
on.
throw to take us to a last leg shootout. Somewhere Fallon Sherrick has been on many occasions this week. She's not doing anything too easy, is she? She's always getting drawn into drama, even when
81.
just minutes ago felt like she was coasting.
And remember, a 4-3 win
81.
for Stuart Kellett is the only scoreline that keeps the possibility of the 9-dart shootout in Group 2 on.
60. 100.
Oh, look at that shirt.
Oh, I like that one. That's a good one. Do you know what? I would dare say, from what I saw of the design there and the colours and everything about it, I think that could be the best shirt in darts.
140.
Available from all good stockists.
43.
Yeah, just contact me on.
This is good from Kellett. He's definitely grown into this game.
60.
He really has, because it was a slow start. He was getting blown away. It all looked like it was just a bit too easy for Fallon. And now
45.
it's looking like we're going to go all the way.
Stuart requires
I'll
100.
go back to the dart where she hit the treble and bust. That was the turning point for me.
Well, it has, because since then she's not really recovered and taken 10 points off of her average.
60.
Needs a big visit here.
$123. Stuart requires 100.
So Kellett to level it up and send us all the way. Tops. There's one.
80.
Just underneath.
Fallon requires 109.
Fallon 109. Treble 19. Would have left double 16, but Kellett will return.
57. Stuart requires 20.
Great guide. And
Game's
uses
on
it.
the
Level
6th
game.
leg.
We are
Stuart
going
Kellett.
all the way. KO Kellett has leveled it up from 3-0 down. Fallon has
7th
the
and
darts.
final leg. Fallon to throw first. Game on.
Well, the last couple of times that Fallon Sherrick's been in this position, she produced her best darts
99.
when in this position. And if she wants to be guaranteed of a place in the semi-final, she needs to win this leg. Real encouragement here, though, for Stuart Kellett. Going into the rest of the night, being able to turn this
140.
around and be able to get himself back into the fixture.
Yeah, he's definitely relaxed now.
Just grown into the game, hasn't he?
100.
It's a big last start, though, from Fallon Sherrick.
$100. 92.
Not really much to separate them here. But if Kellett can find a couple of trebles...
Just not those ones.
117.
Beautiful switch in there for Kellett. Forces the issue for Fallon. Needs to find something. Desperate times.
60.
Advantage,
Stuart requires
Kellett.
144.
Another one. Would have left double 12.
128.
But the setup is sublime
Fallon requires
unless
150.
Fallon can produce fireworks, which she can't. So Kellett is going to have the opportunity to win it.
60. Stewart requires 16.
Double 4 for Kellett. Nervy double 2 and can't
14.
find it. He'd been superb
Fallon
up until that
requires
point,
90.
but has opened the door again.
Early on, you would never believe Stuart Kellett was going to get match darts. Will he get any more?
Another match dart
65.
has gone begging for Sherrick
Stewart requires 2.
as Kellett comes back for the Madhouse. Just composing himself. Finds
Game
it.
shot.
Stuart Kellett comes from 3-0 down to beat Fallon Sherrick 4-3. There's the KO fan club. He is right in the mix. Sherrick missed a couple of match starts en route, but Group 2 is now finally poised. Fallon Sherrick has played both of her games, can do no more. The last game between Kellett and Coleman, it will all be on the line, but we go back to Group 1 for Gert de Vos against Connor Scott.
Welcome to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
They've both got the talent where they can reel off leg after leg and dish out a heavy defeat. And what a way to start the day. We're up and running here on Champions Week with a maximum.
But what a way to finish. A 12-dart leg.
Beautiful check out there from Cam Crabtree.
Only needs the one.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius
What were you
Lebanon.
saying about efficiency?
Game shot on the third leg. Reece
Is that
Robinson.
the moment that Reece Robinson comes alive in this crucial clash? Looks like he's going to go for it. And it is right next to his favourite double top. And he gets the job done at the earliest possibility. That is Cam Crabtree through.
Case not so. Harrison gets the all-important win.
Game shot on the second leg. Darius Lebanon. Game shot.
Josh Smith, is it
Darius
a
Lebanon.
9? A long time. And that clenched fist.
Game shot.
Oh, he gets the job done in the end. He's nodding in total agreement because
Game shot on the fourth leg.
Just like
Darius
that.
Lebanon.
only needs the one. And there you can see
So that she can unlock at any moment. But that is quality from Harrison. This would be a wake-up.
welcome to the party in Pompey. Should be a good marker for him. And is. It was a great dive.
Game shot on the first leg. Andreas Harrison.
It's a breaker throw for Andres Harrison.
Game shot on the second leg. Cam Crabtree.
Consecutive breaker throw. Double 16 is found.
And he does lead. It's not an 11, but it's a beautiful 12, treble 17, which he gets. Bullseye for the win. Absolutely incredible by Andreas Harrison.
He's Andreas Dirty Harrison.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series finals night. 2 group games left to play and only 1 player through to the semi-finals so far. And that is Colin Osborne. Despite that defeat to Connor Scott in his opening match, he bounced back with a 4-1 win against Gert de Vos to book his place in the semi-finals. Fallon Sherrick was almost there, a 4-3 win against Ashley Coleman, but then mismatched darts to qualify. There is still the chance of a 9-dart shootout if Coleman gets a 4-3 win against Kellett in the last match of that group. But in Group 1, Gert de Vos about to take on Connor Scott. And with that victory for Scott, he is holding all the aces here. He needs just 2 legs to qualify for the semi-finals himself, meaning de Vos needs to win 4-1 or 4-0 to go through at his opponent's expense. And guiding you through the action, it is back to Matt and Phil.
Thank you very much, Chris. And here we go, the final game in Group 1. And the favourite before a dart was thrown was Connor Scott. And he has put himself in a fabulous position, as Chris explained there. Just 2 legs needed. And when you're Gert de Vos and you're in this position, Matt, it must be a horrible feeling knowing that you've got pretty much no room to manoeuvre.
Well, he's got 1 leg, hasn't he? He can lose 1 leg, and that's it. And that's not a good position to be in when you're taking on someone who's experienced, someone who's in
ladies
form,
and gentlemen. First leg, Gert to throw
someone
first.
who we believe is
Game
rightly
on.
installed as the favourite to win this group.
$42. 140.
And already the de Vos throw is under pressure in leg 1.
It's not the ideal game to have to play here against Connor Scott
42.
because Connor Scott, yes, keeps saying that he hasn't played his best on that stage, but he's a very composed, a very calm. If something's not
54.
working right, he'll try something to fix it. He won't just persist. He's a player that will figure this stage out. And he's figuring it out tonight. It was a good performance in his opening game, despite the missed starts at a double, still averaging in the mid-90s. It's a sign of a very good player.
85.
De Vos has thrown 9 darts. He's not even out the 400s. Make that 10. Finally gets out the 400s on the 11th dart.
39.
It's like watching Phil Bars. It's like me down the Dog and Duck on a Friday.
122.
He's got 1 life. 1 opportunity to sort of get it wrong here, Gert de Vos. And he's using that early.
58.
And getting it very,
Connor
very
requires 100.
Gift wrapping it to Connor Scott.
84. $123. Connor requires 16.
So for the break, 88. Can't take it, but we'll be back.
$23. Connor requires 16.
This time he gets it right. The sniper leads 1-0. And he is a leg away from officially booking his place in the semi-finals.
Second leg. Connor to throw first. Game
now
on.
must win 4 on the spin. Is it doable? Yes. Is it likely, Matt?
60.
On the evidence of what we've seen so far, absolutely not. I've just had to check my calendar. And it is not December 25th. Christmas Day is actually 151 days away. Connor Scott will feel like it is Christmas today on the opening leg there, but Gert de Vos
131.
straight back into the equation. Better. He calls himself inconsistent. His words. He actually,
60.
in a 1-minute interview, said it about 4 times how inconsistent he was. And with that, you just find you get a little bit more edgy at times.
100.
As well, talking about me playing, I feel out of place as well because our comms and puntry team this evening, we've obviously got yourself, multiple ranking title winner.
27.
Chris Murphy has won the prestigious Premier Inn League as well, streamed live in December. So you're both up there
100.
with ranking titles.
Tell you what, there's not many people I sit in the commentary box where I've outwon them.
140.
So I'll take
Connor
it, Phil. I'll
requires
take
110.
This for qualification.
90. Gerd
The
requires
setup's
94.
immaculate. De Vos is now at the point of no return. Would have been a
56.
skin saver.
Connor requires
But Connor Scott
20.
to stamp his place in the final 4.
Game shot in the second leg.
Minimal fuss.
Connor Scott.
Connor Scott is through. Connor Scott and Colin Osborne, the two people that will go through Group 1.
Third
Gert de
leg.
Vos
Gert to throw
is
first.
out.
Game on.
Suppose now it comes down to who's going to win this group. The winner of the group
43.
will have the advantage of throwing first in the semi-finals. The only time we have a bull up on a Saturday night is for the final game.
57.
So there are some perks and benefits still here.
$60. $140.
Connor Scott is already threatening the double break here.
121. $55.
I remember we were chatting when we saw the price at 7 to 4. You said, Matt, you're expecting him to be shorter than that.
I would
39.
think it was value if it was 7 to 4 on Champions Week. I think there's no surprise. I'm a big fan of Connor. I think I've made that very, very clear throughout the evening.
140.
You can just see something, can't you? There's just
74.
There's something there.
Connor requires 109.
Oh, completely agree. There's a glint in his game. You can just see that there's
61.
a player there waiting to burst out.
Gert requires 164. $123. Connor requires 48. Game shot on the
It's
third
all coming
leg.
very, very comfortable
Connor
for him here.
Scott.
But we've seen this story before. About 15 minutes ago. Fallon
Fourth leg,
Sherrick
Connor
was
to throw
3-0 up
first.
against Stuart Keller,
Game
and we
on.
put the writing on the wall. We were saying how comfortable and how it was in cruise control. Exactly like this
60.
game. But then Stuart Keller actually turned it around and won the match 4 legs to 3.
I'm going to make a bold shout here.
123.
I don't see it happening again.
$131. $25. $115.
The cover shooting of the highest order. And all of a sudden, Connor Scott is 195 points away from a
30.
whitewash victory.
It feels like Gert de Vos has just had enough. If he was offered the opportunity to leave it here,
100.
I think he'd be off. The white flag would be raised.
Oh, he's tapping out right now.
Oh, I like that.
42.
So with that in mind,
Connor
Connor Scott
requires
looking to be a sharpshooter
95.
and get the job done.
Double 19.
57.
Doesn't go, but will return.
$97. Connor requires 38. Game, shot, and the
Job
match.
done.
Connor Scott.
Don't apologise, Connor. You've done your job. It's a 4-0 whitewash. Hop Gert de Vos. Connor Scott tops Group 1 and he will throw first in the semi-final. The bookies' favourites safely through as they have a little debrief at the table. There's the tail of the tape. Very one-sided as he serves the whitewash. But all eyes now on Group 2 because the potential of a 9-dart shootout is there. All 3 players still in contention.
Hang on a minute. Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already. Itching to hit the 180. He's gone for the maximum.
18 for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first start from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
The match starts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Game shot out the match. Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is, Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout. There it is, Stuart Kellett confirmed as the Group C winner. Colin Osborne came so
For a level game,
and
it is
Ashley Coleman.
a 13 dart break back for Coleman.
Yeah, huge game here, and the man nicknamed KO, Stuart Kellett, is in an effective knockout game, but with a slight caveat here. The winner of this game will go through unless the result is 4-3 to Ashley Coleman. If that is the result at the end of this match, then these two and Fallon Sherrock will return to the stage to participate in one of the famous 9-dart shootouts to decide who goes through from Group 2 and joins Connor Scott and Colin Osborne in the semi-finals. So let's get this game underway. The final group game of the evening will be described by Matthew Edgar and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Chris. And here we go. Group 2, all the drama comes down to this. We crunch the numbers. And whatever happens, Fallon Sherrock cannot top the group, Matt. So if she goes through, she will face Connor Scott. Yeah, unless it's a 9-dart shootout. But in terms of if this is a result either way, apart from 4-3 to Kellett, to Coleman, sorry, that it's going to be Scott and
Thank you,
Fallon.
ladies and gentlemen. First leg.
There's so many
Stuart
possibilities and
first.
permutations here.
Game
that
on.
I think we need to give the pen and paper warning to the viewers if they wanted to follow it along. So we'll describe the action. We'll talk you through it as it goes, let you know the likelihood of the various different scenarios.
177.
There's one thing that could be said about Stuart Kellett. He started the day so slowly, looked very nervy and edgy, but he settled in so quickly.
140.
Probably the first time in any sphere that these two have crossed paths. But I'm sure Ashley Coleman, being a big student of the game, being someone who loves
100.
darts, would have no doubt seen Stuart Kellett on all those big stages.
83.
Do you think these two will know the scenarios?
81.
There's always that opportunity to find it out. There's people that will tell them what it is. You can look it up on the data that is provided to the practice room.
Stuart requires 143.
But I think these are two people that just don't want to know. Just get up there, try win the game, and find out afterwards.
100.
Well, we know
Ashley
that
requires
Fallon knows the
98.
scenarios, and the exact quote we were given was, "I don't care what the score is, as long as it's not a 9-dart shootout."
79. Stuart requires 43. $27. Ashley requires 19.
Give Ashley Coleman the chance to get a breaker throw.
Game on the first
He
leg.
does.
Ashley Coleman.
First real big moment in the game.
Second leg,
First
Ashley to throw
noteworthy
first.
moment
Game on.
in the final game of our group stages. We know the two players from Group 1,
135.
Colin Osborne and Connor Scott, will say bye to Gert de Vos. In Group 2, everyone still active.
140.
This is where we need Fallon cam, isn't it? We need the camera on Fallon watching this one.
94.
That's very active, very involved in the scoreline here. The beauty she does have, though, is she'll be able to carry on practicing and doing her preparations, because sometimes you are a possibility of being eliminated. Fallon knows she's going to have at least another 9 darts in this tournament, regardless.
105.
Which means she can just continue with those preparations. Continue to get ready for whatever the night's going to throw her way.
140. Ashley requires 167. 99. Stuart requires 81. 55. Ashley requires 68.
Another missed opportunity for Keller. Can Ashley Coleman punish him again? Double 16.
36. Stuart requires 26.
Break back opportunity. And the look on Coleman's face says it all.
On the second
He
leg.
knows.
Stuart Kellett.
Opportunity passed by, and also the reaction from Kellett. Big celebration.
Third leg.
When I
Stuart
spoke to him
throw
earlier, he
first.
said there was no
Game on.
expectations. That reaction to me says different. He's growing into this. He's feeling it again.
He might not have expectation, but the one thing you will do is get carried away with the moment.
100.
We see it on all levels. Players who go to Q
93.
School, then start doing well, all of a sudden get drawn into the what if. Players who go to the World Championships, not expecting to be anywhere near the world title, and then when they start winning a couple of games, you start to believe, you start to dream.
140.
Stuart Kellett, who's been through these sort of scenarios, been on the big stages, had to go through those qualifying criterias.
92.
All that sort of feeling is going to be coming back to him right now. He's playing with a really
100.
good flow, a really good rhythm, maybe suited by the pace of Ashley Coleman, something I said can be a friend or a foe to the opponent, because he is so quick to
60.
throw and retrieve
Stuart
his
requires
darts that he gives you
161.
that ocky very early.
$60.
Yeah, the pressure will increase on Coleman because he's running out of chances.
86.
Remember, he has to win this
Stuart
game.
requires 101.
Scorelines are relevant. The first part is he has to win. Looks like 9 for double 16 for a 2-1 lead. And KO
Game's on the
Kellett,
third leg.
he's doing
Stuart
his
Kellett.
part. It's another celebration. He is enjoying this.
Fourth leg, Ashley to throw first. Game on. $91.
That first art for Stuart Kellett always just seems to be sat on the top wire of that treble 20.
140.
Just so inviting. Absolutely pitch perfect on finding the range.
140.
Coleman going to have to dig deep here.
And this is a high quality contest going under the radar here that Stuart Kellett is averaging over 106 right now.
100.
Coleman, bang on 96. This is superb stuff. Leaving it all on the stage here at the Live Lounge. They knew what was on the line.
100.
And they are bringing
Ashley
it.
requires 170.
Yeah, this is the very, very best of Stuart Kellett. A real A-star performance.
134. Stuart requires
Ashley Coleman
161.
able to keep pace. This is a massive
89.
visit. A
Ashley
huge
requires
visit in the
36.
context of the game, in the context of the week. Ashley Coleman not up to the task on this
28.
occasion and offers a chance for
Stuart
Stuart Kellett
requires
to get a
72.
double breaker throw.
They felt rushed for me as well. I didn't feel there was any composure. Double 16 again, and this is for 3-1. Doesn't
56.
take it. Coleman gets a lifeline.
Ashley requires 8. Game shot on the fourth leg.
Big last start.
Ashley Coleman.
Bottle there from Ashley Coleman.
Fifth leg. Stuart to throw first. Game on.
The eyes just draw to Stuart Kellett. It's that last dart in hand that hurts the most when you think you're coming back. But that dart again, dart number 1 for Stuart Kellett, sat perfectly in the top of the treble, and he fires another 2 in there with it.
60.
I'd love to know the average on dart number 1 for Stuart Kellett, because it's been pitched absolutely perfectly.
$78.
Yeah, this is by far the best performance we've seen from Stuart Kellett here
100.
this week. He is really bringing it when he needs to.
$81. $140.
We just had some word from our production staff that Connor Scott is enjoying watching this feet up, and he's praying for a 9-dart shootout.
I think for the neutral they always do.
89.
9-dart shootout, a very rare thing in darts where the players are under the most intense pressure.
96. Stuart requires
That only
73.
happens if Ashley Coleman beats Stuart Kellett by 4 legs to 3.
54. Looks like 14 and tops.
33.
Doesn't go. Is this the opportunity
Ashley
for Coleman?
requires 105. 73. Stuart requires 40.
That was a chance for Coleman to break, and the way Stuart Kellett's playing on the 100 average, that might be all he gets.
Has to come right across. Because the way
30.
the dart was kicked
Ashley
right across.
requires 32.
Yeah, they were 3 edgy darts, those. Kellett's been
Game
good
on
in
the
this
fifth
game,
leg.
but misses it
Ashley
at the most
Coleman.
important moment. Ashley Coleman, a big, big breaker throw. He is now throwing for the match. He is throwing
flag, Ashley to throw first.
to move himself into the semi-finals on his very first appearance here on a Saturday night.
100.
He's dug in well here. He's been under the cosh for a lot of this contest.
$125.
Massive maximum. Massive from Coleman.
Said bottle, didn't we, when he hit that double two? Same again there. He's just
60.
Put some distance between himself now and Stuart Kellett, who looks like his race may be run.
121.
You'd feel for Kellett going out in this situation because he's played brilliantly.
He has, but he's lost the big moments, and it's the moments
100.
that collaborate together that make the match.
100.
Ashley Coleman books his place in the semi-final. The Prince of Darkness weathered the storm. KO Kellett had him on the ropes, but a blitz from Coleman books his place in the semi-finals. He ends up topping Group 2 on leg difference. Fallon Sherrick finished runners-up. What a game between the pair. There is the tail of the tape, a high-quality contest. But after the break, Matt and Chris are going to dissect all the action from the group stages.
Hang on a minute. Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's £100 down the drain already. Itching to hit the 180. He's gone for the maximum.
Team for the bull. Bull.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first start from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Scape.
Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable. The match starts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Pie Face dominated throughout.
Welcome back. So the semi-finals are set, and myself and Matthew Edgar are going to reflect on the results we've seen so far. Here is what has happened. What for you was the most significant moment of the group stages?
That one we've just seen, what a special game. A real game, that one. Stuart Kellett raised it. He played the best darts he has played all week, but he lost the key moments. He had that shot at the 72 finish to go 3-1 up, missed it, one dart in hand, and from that point, Ashley Coleman went through the gears to levels we've not seen from him before, certainly under pressure. That's something that's been questioned at times. Ashley Coleman under pressure. He's still relatively new to this sort of stage and to this sort of experience. So he's gaining experience all the time, and that's going to put him in good stead. The way he motored through those last couple of legs, absolutely brilliant.
It's going to be an interesting semi-final lineup as well. Fallon Sherrick sat here last night, said, if I've got to beat Connor, I've got to beat Connor. She does now have to beat Connor Scott. Let's start with him. He started off well for him. Has he shown any sort of vulnerability for you tonight?
I think I'm going to be very boring in my predictions, and I'm just sticking with Connor Scott. From the start of this week, I've said Connor Scott's the man to beat. I've seen nothing to suggest otherwise at the moment. Connor Scott played well tonight. I don't think he's hit top gear yet. He's had questions asked of him in that game with Colin Osborne. He was able to answer those. He's had a good examination of where he is right now, and he's come through on both occasions. That Gert de Vos game maybe was just a little bit too easy for him in the fact, but this is Connor Scott. I know Connor. I speak to Connor a lot. I know what his attitude is like. He's not someone who'll take the foot off the gas, where other people may question, did that game come too easy? Have they lost focus? Not Connor. He will be well and truly up for this. I still think he's the man to beat.
And the other player in that group, Colin Osborne, going through, beaten by Connor in the first game, but he's shown tonight in 2 matches exactly what he's shown this week. It doesn't matter about how you start, it's about how you finish, isn't it?
Yeah, Colin Osborne's had a good week. He's been here for the week, he's set himself up for the week, he's won weeks before, and he's always going to be dangerous. And the other thing he's got is reputation. Now, when you've got a bit of a reputation because of the things that Colin Osborne's done, sometimes it can get you out of a situation. We may have seen that at certain points this week, certainly at certain points tonight. That little bit of reputation, just when you're sat on a 120 or a 124, when you know in the back of your mind, the guy behind me has taken these out many times, made a career. He's paid his bills from doing these sort of moments and these sort of shots. It does change it a little bit rather than playing one of the more inexperienced players. So that's something that he's got, maybe that extra little bit of percent in the players' minds.
2 players going through from Group 2, almost that nail-biting 9-dart finish. You've already mentioned that great game between Kellett and Coleman. So let's start with Ashley. In general this week, this has been a real step up for him, hasn't it? And he's stepped up to the task.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've said it many times this week, and I can't say it enough how impressed I've been with Ashley Coleman. A year ago, 8 months ago, he made his debut here at the Super Series and didn't get through his group. He had another opportunity later on. This, I believe, is his 3rd time here at the Super Series, and at no point until this week have I ever thought this guy's going to win a week here at the Super Series. He looked like someone who could be dangerous, someone who may get through groups, get through to Saturday nights, but never someone you'd really sort of back and go, this guy's going to go and win one. Where what I'm seeing now and seeing the development in his game, I don't just think he can win a week here. I think he could go on and do things in other arenas, on challenge tours, on Q School. I think we're seeing a player develop here, and he could be someone to keep an eye on sort of over the next 6 months.
And last night in Group B, he and Fallon Sherrick were both in it. It was pretty flat, wasn't it? It was rubbish, actually. But they've kind of stood up, haven't they? They've raised their game, both of them. And Fallon herself showing that kind of class that she does seem to find in the key moments.
Different attitude altogether. Not just in regards to what we're seeing on the stage, but the way she's acting in and around the arena. The last couple of days, she's been very jovial, very smiley, very bubbly, sort of... do you say class clown? Am I allowed? Well, I've done it now, haven't I? I'm in, I'm committed, so we'll go with that. Almost playing a bit of a role backstage and being very fun. Tonight, there's been none of that. The smiles have gone down, it's down to business, it's serious business. This is the night, and she's taken that even onto the stage. A very serious demeanour, very focused, very determined, and very, very good.
I think back to that Women's Week when she met Bo Greaves in the semi-final. She really turned it on, averaged around 107 in that match. Ended up losing the final ultimately to Rihanna O'Sullivan, but is she going to need a similar kind of performance here to beat Connor Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. You're not going to... Connor's not going to lose this game. The only way Connor doesn't go through is if he gets beaten. And very small play on words, but by that, I mean, Connor's not going to miss opportunities and Fallon's going to pick his pocket. Fallon's got to go up there and play her A game, and that is how she's going to get through. She's not going to get through by a lower performance. It has to be top darts. We know she's capable. We know she's doing it tonight. She's going to be a threat. Again, reputation can lead some way. Connor Scott, I bigged him up a lot, but there's question marks. He himself says on a regular basis he's never performed on that stage. Has he still found his A darts? Probably not. Does he feel settled tonight? We don't know. But they are the question marks over Connor Scott. But for me, I do think he gets through.
What about then that second semi-final? We've got Colin Osborne and all his experience, and Ashley Coleman with this kind of fresh-faced enthusiasm, a real joy for him to be playing on this stage. Which kind of approach wins?
No scar tissue either for Ashley Coleman. This is all gain. Even getting to the semi-finals, he's going to be happy. It's all positive for him right now. If we look at the Group A campaign, Ashley Coleman was dominant compared to what we saw of Colin Osborne. They've played each other plenty of times this week. Ashley Coleman's coming out on top in regards to the previous. Now, if we believe what the players say, then that means nothing. But that will play a part should this go tight. Should this go 3-3, Colin Osborne will know that Ashley Coleman can get his number.
Right. 4 players left in contention to win this week. Let's just take a look at who's already made it through to Champions Week. Tom Sykes, Jim Long, Richard Rowlands, Jimmy Van Schie, Neil Duff, Paul Hogan and Adam Paxton. Now, I'm going to say something here, Matt. There's been a bit of a trend because we're not necessarily looking at all of the best performing players on those weeks. Certainly not all of the best performing players on a lot of those Champions nights. Can you see that trend being broken tonight? Connor Scott might be the main man, but we were sitting here last week thinking the same about Wesley Plaisir.
It was at this stage as well that Wesley Plaisir went out and we was looking around going, who can beat Wesley Plaisir? And we weren't sure there was anybody on the levels that he's shown throughout the week, but it's an individual game, and not only that, it's short format. And that is why a lot of the time the favourites don't come through, because they've got to get through a lot of short format games. And it's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of a couple of mistakes or inspired darts from your opponent, and it all could be over.
That's the danger, isn't it, that short format? That's why it's so sort of brutal here. We get a lot of calls, actually, to extend the format for the semis and final, but there is a certain sort of, how shall we put it, sort of vicious beauty in this.
It's why people love the old News of the World, the now Champion of Champions event. It's why people always call for that format to come back. There's people who call for 1,001 one-leg shootout because it's fun to watch. The jeopardy. There was a lot of people wanting a 9-dart shootout tonight, Connor Scott included in that, because of the jeopardy that comes with it. We like seeing people under pressure. We don't like doing it ourselves, but it's great to sit back and watch, and that's why the format here just lends itself to a lot of surprises and some very intriguing watches.
Yeah, these two semi-finals about to get underway. Look, I think I know what you're going to say for one half of it, but what is your final? Who are you expecting to see contest a big money match?
I think we're going to have Connor Scott against Ashley Coleman.
There we go. Matthew Edgar has spoken, and the semi-finals are about to get underway. So without further ado, let's get them going. Here comes the first of the semi-finals.
Modus. And Connor Scott gets the job done. The favourite is off and running. Double 8 to seal victory, and that is sensational from the Queen of the Palace.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to our first semi-final. Please welcome to the stage, Connor Scott. And his opponent, please put your hands together for Fallon Sherrock.
Semi-final showdowns now about to take place, and it is a meeting between Scott and Sherrock. Connor has been the king of the Oki this week at the Modus Super Series, but now he faces the Queen of the Palace. Not many players as experienced in just focusing for those key moments, those key matches, has won on the biggest stage of all. but still, that Super Series weekly win has eluded her. Connor Scott, he'd been struggling to get to finals nights before, despite him being much fancied by the odds compilers, as he was again this evening. Both these players now one step away from tonight's decider and guiding you through all of the action. I will hand you back to our commentary team of Matthew Edgar and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Chris. And here we are, everyone. It is now knockout darts. The groups have come and they have gone. No second chances now. Everything is on the line. Place at Champions Week for our final
first
four.
leg, Connor to throw first.
But only one
Game on.
can take the glory. The bookies' favourite has the darts here and has started with intent.
Yeah, I expect to see a big power scoring game here from both. Both looking good so far this evening.
125.
Both with that steely look across the face.
100.
Let's get the feeling this could be a Super Series classic.
Oh, absolutely. It's got all the ingredients. It's got all the context.
140.
I did say to Chris Murphy, Connor Scott will not lose
100.
this game. The only thing that can happen is Fallon Sherritt can beat him. But a very rare miscount here from
54.
Connor Scott. One of the biggest thinkers in the game, one of the best counters in the game. Didn't move away from the 20 on the last start to leave himself an outshot.
125.
Yeah, doesn't normally make mistakes. But this time he does. But he will return. Fallon not on a finish. So 37
100.
for
Connor
the opening
requires
leg.
37. Game shot on the first leg.
Clinical from
Connor
the
Scott.
sniper. He knows the importance of not giving Fallon a chance.
Second leg. Fallon to throw first.
Literally,
Game on.
no part of those two even wanted to look vaguely in the direction of the other.
Oh, we're not getting fist pumps in this game.
100. $180. $100.
I wonder if he's going to keep with his plan of the most magical 9-darter. No, it's all business for Connor Scott. Reference the magical
60.
9-darter because in the week he's been trying to go 3 treble 20s for the 180, 3 treble 19s, 171, and then 3 bullseyes on the 150.
55.
Not entertaining it here, Connor Scott. All business, all about the win, all about the title.
I was like you. I was intrigued to see.
180.
But this is world class from Connor Scott. The average is north of
43.
120
Connor
again.
requires 81.
Remember, he's actually had an average of 120 this week in a completed fixture. That fixture number 2 on Wednesday.
61.
He did that without hitting any maximums. Imagine what this could be now we started to fill it up.
47. Connor requires 20. Game shot on the second leg. Connor Scott.
Fallon Sherritt's just got to find a way to hang in here. Try and keep on the coattails of Connor Scott and hope an opportunity presents itself.
Third leg. Connor to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, this is a special performance from Connor Scott so far. Fallon doing little
84.
wrong. But when Scott goes to this place, he's hard to live with.
$40.
Well, Connor Scott has won a WDF gold-ranked event. That over in Denmark.
59.
That event means that he will be taking a place up at Lakeside later on this year, the WDF World Championship. Are we looking here at the favourite
45
for that WDF title, or do you think there's going to be some interesting riders for that?
I think one of the favourites.
60.
Would he go off bookies' favourite? Potentially. But going to Lakeside is different. I remember when he went as the favourite a couple of years ago. Never looked comfortable, never looked settled. Look, he's a better player now than he was
41.
then. So I would expect him to be in the runners and riders. He'd probably go off bookies' favourite, I agree, but I look at Ben Robb, who is playing exceptionally
60.
right now as well. Look, we don't know if he'll be there. He's obviously qualified, but he has a chance to go to Alexandra Palace potentially as well. Never write Neil Duff off at the Lakeside.
57.
An event that's finding its place once again on the darting calendar. Fallon Sherrick herself has got a ticket to Lakeside. Should she not reach Alexandra Palace?
60. Connor requires 98.
Scott could be booking a ticket to the final here. He's got a lot of comfort. Fallon Sherrick nowhere to be seen. She's been hit very, very hard in this game, and at the moment has very little in way of response.
81. Connor requires 32.
Yeah. To go within one of the final.
16.
That certainly caught the flight on the way through.
You're not so clinical on that occasion from Connor Scott.
26. Connor requires 16.
Double 8. Great marker. And
Danger
uses
on the
it.
third
Connor
leg.
Scott
Connor
is
Scott.
on the verge of the final here.
Fourth leg. Fallon to throw first. Game on.
Well, Fallon was in a similar situation to this earlier. She was 3-0 up, coasting against Stuart Kellett. Stuart Kellett was able to turn it around and win 4-3, so she knows that it's possible to completely turn a fixture around just because she's averaging around about 20 points less than her opponent.
140.
At this point, that's only 20 points less in the legs that have gone.
Don't look back, look forward. Believe you can turn it around.
140.
Fallon said he's never really felt comfortable up there on that stage, but right now I'm looking at a very comfortable, confident man. Maybe now is the time that he finds himself here at the Super Series.
97. $55.
So this is Fallon's chance to get a leg and get a foothold. We'll be looking to set this 204 up.
140.
Setup play was good. She will return and should get at least a dart for the leg.
60. Fallon requires 64.
She's going to get 2.
$60. Connor requires 146.
Can't find the treble. Comes a setup shot.
56.
But
Fallon
now within
requires
range.
4.
Madhouse for Fallon. It's a good guide if she uses it and doesn't.
2.
So Connor Scott.
Connor requires 90.
90 for a place in the final. Double 15. And
Game,
Connor Scott
shot,
books his place
and the match.
in the
Connor
final. It is a
Scott.
4-0 victory over Fallon Sherrick. The favourite for the title is now a game away. The early part of this exchange, he was sensational. The average dropped considerably. There were some missed starts at double, but the early stages, Connor Scott sent a real statement out. After the break, the second semi-final, Ashley Coleman against Colin Osborne.
So Fallon has fallen. Sherrick seen off by Scutt as Connor collects his place in the final, remains on course to live up to that favourite billing, getting better, it seems, as the evening goes on. A 4-0 win there against Fallon Sherrick sees the sniper take his spot in the finale of this evening, and next we're going to find out whether it's going to be Ashley Coleman or Colin Osborne that joins him. The Prince of Darkness taking on the Wizard in the second semi-final, which is about to get underway.
Ashley Coleman books his place in the semi-final. Books his place in the semi-final. The little fist pump there from Osborne says it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our second semi-final. Please welcome our first player, Ashley Coleman. And his opponent, please put your hands together for Colin Osborne.
Yeah, the Wizard on the stage for the second semi-final, taking on that man, the Prince of Darkness, Ashley Coleman. It's a real contrast in stages of career, of attitudes and styles as well. The experience of Osborne, winner of those 7 PDC titles. He's won plenty. He's been here and done it before on this very stage. Ashley Coleman, who's been targeting his moment at the Super Series. Will it be third time lucky? Have he made it through to finals night? Can he make it through to the final? Or will the Wizard find that bit of magic to book his place in the showdown against Scutt? We will find out over the best of 7 legs, and talking you through it, it's back to Matt and Phil.
Thank you very much, Chris. As we return for our second semi-final, Connor Scutt awaits the winner of Ashley Coleman and Colin Osborne. And when you look at it, Coleman, there was some nerves early on, but that blitz he found,
thank you, ladies and gentlemen,
to book his place
first
top
leg,
of
Ashley
Group
to
2
throw
was inspired.
first. Game on.
It can't be ignored, can it? That was so good from Ashley Coleman. Do try and
57.
get a vibe for what our viewers are thinking and what they're putting in the chat. And there was just time to question Ashley Coleman in the pressure situations. And then he produced that and dished up an almighty
83.
answer.
It was, and I completely agree. At times, I'd just like to see a little bit more composure.
85.
I'm not in terms of slowing the action down, but just maybe that second to approach the oche at key moments.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around with the speed of the action and throw. When you're there, that has to be there. It's rhythm. That's what Ashley Coleman likes to play with.
55.
Rhythm and feel.
Oh yeah, 100%. But just at times, that approach to the oche, just settle yourself a little bit. Just knocked off his stride there by something. It's such a intimate
60.
venue here at the Live Lounge. You can hear absolutely everything, Matt.
Yeah, the smallest of little noises. And it is something he's not quite used to, having a bit of background noise behind him. He alluded to the fact he's played a bit of county darts, but that a completely different atmosphere to what you get here at the Super Series.
139.
Coleman is down to a finish, but Osborne could pile the pressure on this with a big visit.
59. Ashley requires 160. 60. Colin requires 164.
Not going to go, so Coleman will return for a ton.
58.
This could be a little pop finish
100.
if he gets it right. The recovery was brilliant.
The first leg.
The first dart strayed into the fives. But the way he recovered the situation, Matt,
Second leg.
sensational.
Colin to throw first. Game on.
He's had a few of those tonight, a few really important moments where he's found a three-figure out.
134.
Colin Osborne was well and truly within striking range, but this is what I'm talking about with Ashley Coleman. When he gets in this flow, when he gets the rhythm going. Absolutely brilliant. He's a player that is evolving, a player that is
85.
developing. And at quite a rapid pace.
180.
Hang on a minute.
He's evolving. He's won a group here now at the Super Series. He's got his own little moment of history there. Is he about to get an even bigger one?
100.
With a
Ashley
141 for the 9-darter
141.
on finals night on his very first time here.
We were both on the edge of our seats there, Matt.
23.
The most important thing, though, is this is coming on the Colin Osborne throw. Osborne not doing too much wrong. He's kept himself in touching distance. Despite the back-to-back maximums here from Ashley Coleman, he's going to be forced to take out a big finish.
Ashley requires 118. 80. Colin requires.
Remember, he went
8.
6 into the 9 and may lose the leg. Osborne has really dug in here.
Game shot on the
Fabulous from the
second
wizard.
leg. Colin Osborne.
Didn't get involved in what was going on
Third leg.
in
Ashley
regards
to throw
to the
first.
potential 9.
Game
Just
on.
got on with his business.
That's experience for you, Phil.
85.
Remember earlier on in the week he was playing Stephen Jameson. And Jameson hit him with absolutely everything early on, running at an average of about 120 for the first 3 legs.
58.
And Osborne said in his interview straight after, I kind of knew it wasn't going to continue. I just had to ride the wave.
41.
Is that what he's trying to do here? Ride the wave that Ashley Coleman is brewing up, the storm.
$44. $60.
Osborne just looking to try and mount something here on the Coleman darts.
140.
Just making the Prince of Darkness think at the moment. Saying to him,
58.
you threw your best at me, and I'm still here. I'm still coming forward.
Just trying to make sure of the maths here. Colin Osborne making sure he doesn't waste the dart, making sure he leaves something.
95.
I think seeing the 9 on the end was just making him question himself if he should be going downstairs.
100.
Using
Colin
all his
requires
experience right now.
164.
We talked about the pace of Coleman
100.
earlier, that
Ashley
he likes to
requires
get on with it. He won't be enjoying the
157.
pace of this match, will he?
Absolutely not. Quick players like playing against quick players.
99. Colin requires 64.
And there's, again, that little bit of experience by Osborne, not rushing to the hockey. This time something, a noise in the back, just distracting him. And again, won't throw when he's not set. Make sure that everything is how he wants it to be.
This is my turn at the oche, and I will do it my way, he says.
Game on the third leg.
Don't you notice
Colin
as well that
Osborne.
the second you just take a little bit of pace out the game, it increases the
Fourth
tension.
leg, Colin
And
to
if
throw
we're sat
first.
here watching it,
Game on.
get that increased level of tension that Colin Osborne is injecting to the game, how does that feel for Ashley Coleman, who, when you say about excitement, which is what he said it was today, excitement
45.
lives next door to nerves.
The other one there that we see at the elite level quite a lot, and we saw it there from Colin Osborne, that
81.
when you know you've broken someone's throw, you turn around and walk straight back down the oche. The normal route is you veer off to the side, but that's a message to your opponent. I've just broken you, and it's now my turn again.
Commanding
100.
body language. Straight down stagecraft.
95.
This is again where we say about the pacing at the moment. Ashley Coleman, who stood at the back of the stage before Colin Osborne's even
85.
delivered a dart. He is sucking the tempo out of this game.
96.
We've seen Dimitri van den Berg do it recently, and it works for him.
Maybe this is something that Colin Osborne's learnt. These pair was together in a Group A campaign. They played each other 3 times already
58.
this week.
$140.
Again, stood right at the back of the stage. Slow approach. Ashley's waiting. He's pacing. Colin Osborne now delivers his first dart. He's commanding
59.
the stage.
Ashley requires 89.
89 though to break back to at double 16. Can't take it,
57.
but would expect to be
Colin
back.
requires 154.
Or will he? Incredible.
James on the fourth leg.
Absolutely incredible
Colin Osborne.
from Colin Osborne. It's not the recognised route, but he knows
Fifth
how
leg,
important that
Ashley to
was,
throw
and we got
first.
the
Game on.
celebration as well.
Not just a big shot there for Colin Osborne in regards to the hit, but also
43.
the miss from Ashley Coleman there. 2 darts at double 16. That would have been for a level game. Coleman would be now throwing first. Instead, Osborne lands a significant blow. He's in control, not just of the pace, not just of the stage, but now of the game.
80.
Win or lose, Ashley Coleman will learn some valuable lessons from this game in particular.
Oh, absolutely. Ashley Coleman is still very early in terms of his darts career, and he's on an upwards trajectory. He's showing us so much fighting spirit, so much bottle here. He's having to deal with a completely different time of game.
60. $40. $98.
So Coleman just looking to set this up, forcing Osborne to serve it out on his darts.
50.
But potentially that just opens the doormat if Osborne can conjure something here.
He's found the treble. He only needed the one to be able to leave the finish.
$100.
but finding all three leaves him on a 2-dart finish and really serves it up to Ashley Coleman.
100.
Is Colin Osborne about
83.
to upset the form book? Coleman was the favourite coming into this. Treble 17 leaves double 16. Tops. It's not going to go, so lifeline for Coleman.
43.
Same sort of shot as before.
Ashley
He needs a treble for
requires
double.
88.
It's going to be a dart at the ball to save his skin.
63.
A well-thrown dart, but it might be the last dart he gets to
Colin
throw here
requires
on the
40.
Super Series stage on this occasion.
Osborne for a place in the final. Looking at tops. And he's
Game
done
shot.
it. Colin
And the
Osborne
match.
has
Colin
booked his place
Osborne.
in the final. Beats Ashley Coleman 4-1 and sets up a dance date with Connor Scott. An intriguing game. Osborne dominated the stage, dominated the pace, and runs out a 4-1 winner. There's the tail of the tape. Not much between them. 1 from 5 from Coleman on the outer ring ultimately was his undoing. But coming up after the break, we will have Matt and Chris dissecting the semi-finals.
Welcome back. One game left to play, the final. Colin Osborne, Connor Scott. That is after those semi-final victories for the pair. And decent matches in the semi-finals there, Matt.
And what a contrast of ways in which they have just happened. Two completely contrasting matches. Really enjoyable matches in their own right. Both with very good performances. No one really sort of stumbling over the line. This is set up for a real good final.
Certainly has. Let's get confirmation of those semi-final results and all tonight's results, in fact. And as Matthew just mentioned, sort of contrasting in the way they were. Connor Scott really dominant against Fallon Sherrock, and Colin Osborne, well, maybe it was a little closer than the scoreline suggests against Ashley Coleman. What I do want to do, Matt, is just talk about the couple of players that have gone out at that stage before we speak about the final. Fallon Sherrick, she just can't seem to take that step here at the Super Series.
She came out swinging in that semi-final against Connor Scott, really did, but Connor Scott hit her very hard early on, and she just had no answer, no response for that, and Connor Scott just ran away with the game. Fallon Sherrick, she's doing well to regularly make it here on a Saturday night. That's achievement in itself when we look at the standards of the players, certainly that we've had in this week as well. But when will she get over the line? I'm sure she's going to keep trying. She said this is a bucket list thing for her to do, to win here at the Super Series. We're going to see her plenty more times here at the Super Series, but I do feel like this could have been the week for her. If you look at the lineup, there was really only Connor Scott to beat, and ultimately that's who stopped her.
Was the main moment then the group stages where she had the chance to top the group, didn't do it, and then she would have been in the other semi-final, of course?
You've got to avoid Connor tonight. Avoid him until the final. Then in the last game, when the pressure's on, when it's for the big prize, something he's not done before, you never know. You might get that extra visit to the board. So, yeah, absolutely. Winning that group would have put her in a much better position.
Talking about Fallon Sherrick maybe falling a little bit short once again here at the Super Series, Ashley Coleman, total opposite. He's made great strides this week, hasn't he?
Yeah, you don't look at this as a failure or anything in regards to Ashley Coleman. This is a step forward. This is development. This is good. It's been a very good campaign for him. Even to be here tonight is a step forward. But then to make the semi-finals, excellent achievement for him. To go out the way he did, it wasn't a bad performance. It was a good performance. He just got beat on the day. He didn't lose that game. He played well. And there'll be a lot that he's going to take from this. The people that support him, the people that want him to do well, the people that are following his career will really feel very proud of their man this week.
What is it about Colin Osborne that keeps him getting to the latter stages of these Super Series finals nights?
We've just seen it there. That semi-final, if you want to know, just watch that semi-final back. You'll see everything that you need to see. He knew he was against a pacey player. He's played him 3 times this week. He's not had success against him this week. But he had an idea, he had a plan, and that was he's going to do this at his pace. He's going to suck the tempo out of the game. He did. He controlled the match, he controlled the stage, and when I say controlled the match, that was on and off the board. He did some great things in that game, the 1-5-4 finish, hitting the right things at the right times to keep the pressure on, but then the way in which he just drawn all the energy out of the game. Ashley Coleman was stood at the back of the stage before Osborne had even thrown a dart. Now, with that, and being a player, my eyes instantly draw to Ashley Coleman. What is he doing? And he was rocking. He was pacing. He wanted to get back to the board. And then you're looking, and Osborne ain't even delivered a dart yet. So with that, and then a little bit of a slower walk to the hockey, it just built up the anticipation in Ashley Coleman. And ultimately, Colin Osborne got over the line with one of the most experienced sort of professional performances.
That's the word, isn't it? Experience. It isn't cheap, but it is priceless, isn't it?
You can only get it by going through it. Ashley Coleman's learnt a lesson tonight. Now, what he'll do next time, he'll look at this back, he'll watch that, and he'll go, right, they're right, I'm pacing, I need to do something. You need to keep moving, you need to keep active. If you're not moving, you're not active, what you'll do is the brain becomes active and you start to think. So if you notice that's happening, okay, I'm just going to walk slower. I'll approach the hockey the same, I'll throw the darts the same, but when I take the darts, I'm going to walk slower to my resting position. Maybe I'm going to walk wider. We've got a big stage down there. Walk right up to the wall and come back again. Keep moving. We see this when players approach the hockey. Gary Anderson's one they pick up on a lot in regards to when he gets to the hockey, he stands on the hockey, puts his foot on it first. And a lot of that's just because the player's still in front of the board. So you stand on it to keep moving, and into that set position, the player's gone. So it allows you to approach the hockey quicker and keep moving. He's just got to maybe look at how he can incorporate that into his game. And then, can he come back a better player? Absolutely.
Right, I want to get your thoughts on the final in just a moment. But before we do that, let's show you next week's players. This is the lineup for week 9 of Series A. Matthew, which names jump out for you?
Well, I'll pick one in each group then. Group C, I've said in the week, Jamie Atkins is someone I'm really looking forward to seeing. I think he's going to be a player that will get through Group C. I'm going to call it now. You're going to see him next Saturday. He's a player who's progressing and doing very, very well. I think Scott Mitchell's looking good there in Group B, someone who's very active, but don't underestimate Steve Hine. He still believes he can do it, and every time he comes here, he plays well. And from Group A, I like Thomas Banks. He's a player who's impressing me. He's a player who is fearless. We saw him at the UK Open, absolutely fearless. And I think they could be the ones to watch across the board.
Yep, Simon Adams as well coming back, South African player. had a massive smile on his face when he played here before, and he put a smile on everybody else's face. However he plays, he's going to be an enjoyable watch, isn't he?
Absolutely, and he's been here for the past week. I've seen posts on Facebook where he's been meeting up with people, practicing, trying to get ready for this. He loved his time at the Super Series. I'm sure he's going to love it again, and everyone's going to love watching him. And I can imagine there's going to be some really interesting clips and bonus content next week because he puts on a show.
Back to tonight then, the final about to get underway, Connor Scott against Colin Osborne. I can tell you that Connor has won the ball, so again, something else in his favour. You've been saying all week, really, he's the man to beat. You've just told us how Colin Osborne did a job in the semi-final. What does he need to do in this final?
That won't work now. That won't work against Connor Scott. If he tries that again, it won't work. It might help him, benefit him and where he needs to be. He might not be doing this to try and distract his opponent. A lot of times people will alternate pace for what they feel they need to do in the moment. Maybe Ashley Coleman was catching him up in a pace too quick. Whatever he does, the only way he's going to beat Connor Scott is by outperforming him. And to do that, I think he's going to need to be 100 plus.
What are you expecting to see from this match?
Connor Scott lifting the trophy come the end of it. I'm expecting to see that, and I'm expecting to see that quite a few times this year. This one, and then the big one.
You made a big call, actually, didn't you? You said that not only did you think Connor Scott would win this week, but you backed him to win the series before he was even through to Champions Week. You're one match away from looking at that might be realised. Do you still think that he's been the standout performer of all of the weekly winners, if indeed he is to go on and take it tonight?
I think he's one of the standout performers of this year. When you look at the players that don't have a tour card, and we have this debate all the time, don't we? Who's the best players without a tour card? And you try and pick a top five, and you do one, and then it changes, and you're mixing around a little bit. Connor Scott, I think, is one of those players that's sort of been in that conversation all the time. It was year one of his tour card that let him down. Not last year. Last year was very good. This year is probably unfortunate not to have a tour card, and I'm certain he'll have one back next year. So this may be one of the last times we get to see him here at the Super Series.
May well be. I'll let you get back to comms to talk us through the final, which is about to get underway. It is the sniper, Connor Scott, against the wizard, Colin Osborne.
And Connor Scott puts his place in the final with a 4-0 victory. And he's done it. Colin Osborne has booked his place in the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the grand final. Please welcome our first player, the sniper, Connor Scott.
I've been modified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of niggas die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them niggas slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now niggas doing dope lines. I'm running to the cops.
And his opponent, please put your hands together for the wizard, Colin Osborne.
It's going to be good this all week. It's been pointing towards that man there, Connor Scott, succeeding at the Super Series on a Saturday night, having struggled to get through to the finals night in his previous two outings in Portsmouth, apart from that double start week when he did make it to the Saturday session. Colin Osborne, he's been there, he's done it, he's got the T-shirt, has won on that stage on a Saturday. He's even made it to the biggest match of all, the series finale, losing out to a certain Luke Littler. But Matthew Edgar was just saying that Connor Scott might just be collecting titles before going on for a professional career for a prolonged time, which is something that Colin Osborne's already had, is hoping to have again. But right now, it's all about this match, this moment, and that trophy. And guiding you through the action, it is back to Matthew Edgar and Phil Bars.
Thank you very much, Chris. And here we are. It is finals time for week 8. Connor Scott was the favourite before a dart was even thrown, and he's now one away from glory. But standing in his way,
thank you, ladies
wizard,
and gentlemen.
Colin
First
Osborne,
leg, Connor to throw
who
first.
does not know
Game
when
on.
he's beaten. continues to find a way to win games and reinvent himself. But Matt, is this a step too far?
140.
We're going to find out as we end the night the same way we started it. Connor Scott throwing first against Colin Osborne.
45.
On that occasion, Connor Scott was the 4-3 winner. But we've seen this many times before when you beat a player earlier on in the night and then they actually come back and beat you in the final. I've actually had this situation
97.
myself against Graham Usher, and I can tell you it's a very sickening feeling because normally when you beat someone, they're gone.
$95.
It's been a fabulous finals night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. We have potentially 7 legs left
100.
to decide who will be crowned champion. Great to see Stuart Kellett going back into the crowd. He was so unlucky to be eliminated in the group stages. Played some fabulous stuff.
Just loves darts, doesn't
58.
he? No doubt I want to see
Connor
how
requires
this all ends this week.
164.
He's played a big part here. It has felt at times this week like the Connor Scott show.
98.
The story, the narrative has been, can anyone stop Connor? And Osborne, a long way off the pace he's going to need to be here to rival the big favourite for the week.
95.
And the other thing is the fact
Connor
that
requires
Connor won the ball.
66.
Colin can't just coast and hope to hold throw. He has to produce something.
34.
A little bit of a snarl there from Osborne. How dare you go in the 5?
125. Connor requires 32. No
In
score.
the final, every miss,
Colin
every
requires
opportunity
83.
amplified. Connor Scott was miles clear in this leg. Colin Osborne just a stander by. But he may steal. Yes, Colin, it's in.
Can he work off of that? The
Game
answer is he
on
can.
first leg. Colin
Osborne has broken the Connor Scott throw. He was nowhere in this leg. Multiple missed
Second leg.
starts
Colin to throw
from
first.
Connor Scott.
Game on.
And he's paid the price. And is it advantage Osborne now?
Well, it has to be after breaking the throw.
140.
We've mentioned throughout the night experience can play a factor. Colin Osborne has got winning experience on that stage. His fingerprints are on the trophy.
180.
But Connor Scott not deterred by the early misses.
$57. $140.
We weren't quite sure. We held our breath, Matt.
He wants that moment, doesn't he? He wants the 9.
100.
Violent deflection there from Colin Osborne. Connor Scott in the race to the finishing stage.
90.
Once again winning that one, but can he get over the line this time?
Yeah, Osborne. We want to leave something tidy and hope the misses continue for Scott.
60. Connor requires 91.
We saw a big
51.
haymaker blow like this from Colin Osborne in his
Colin
semi-final
requires
clash with
144.
Ashley Coleman. 2 trebles and the double 17. 2 trebles and the double 12.
132.
Couldn't quite repeat the magic.
Connor requires
It grazes
40.
the wire, but Scott to break
Game
straight
on
back,
the
and it
second
is
leg.
1-1.
Connor Scott
Another big blow in this game. They are trading haymakers right now. No
Big
feeling
leg.
each other
Connor
out
to throw
early in this
first.
one.
Game on.
They are just going for it from the off. They know everything is on the line. No second chances.
70.
And they are playing like it as well.
Yeah, it was a big dart and a big moment there, because what happens is you start to build the anxiety levels when your opponent's on those sort of shots. When it's a 1-4-4, you hope they miss it first dart or second, so you don't have to watch that double. Connor Scott was at the back of the stage, rubbing his hands on his towel and just
57.
staring intensely at the board. It leaves you to that last moment, and to step up and just do it with minimal fuss like that is a very, very big dart from Connor.
140.
Back-to-back 140s for Osborne. He has stolen the darts here.
A
54.
high-quality final.
Yeah, sometimes in finals, when you're playing multiple games in a session, the final can disappoint. We've seen it so many times in other events, but not this final.
100.
This is on point.
Second maximum of the game for Connor Scott gets him back into this leg. It's a leg, the damage has been done here by Colin Osborne in the scoring stage.
It may be too little too late if he pins the bullseye.
96.
We knew it was
Connor
close.
requires 140. $53.
This is the most emotion I've
Colin
seen from
requires
Colin Osborne on a darts
25.
game for a long time as well.
Game shot on the third leg.
But when the chips are
Colin
down, Phil,
Osborne.
that's when the emotion comes out. And this is, for all
Fourth
the
leg.
marbles,
Colin to throw first.
the
Game
weekly
on.
prize, the ticket to Champions Week. And that is our third breaker throw.
60.
Scott will be looking to punish that. Could do with another treble. And right on point, he finds one.
140.
The door is open already.
$60.
Two trebleless visits from Osborne has potentially undone all the good work in the last leg, because Connor Scott is punishing and punishing to some tune right now.
Both players really producing against the darts.
85. $134.
Third time, Connor Scott finds two big power trebles here against the darts.
Yeah, leaves 90 after 9 for another break back opportunity.
55. Connor requires
Osborne can't
90.
leave a finish. I think he'll stay there. We didn't. With that marker, I thought he was just going to collide one off the
50.
dart.
I think he's looking at the situation where he's got a little bit of time on his side and could just get a bit messy there if he slips one into the bullseye. So just trying to make sure everything measured, as he does like this sort of measured, balanced approach, does Connor Scott.
134. Connor requires 40.
Broke with a 13 darter.
Game shot on
in
the
leg
fourth
2.
leg.
And he breaks
Connor
with a
Scott.
13 darter again. He loses his darts and hits back with a 13. Great resilience here.
Fifth
from Connor
leg.
Scott.
Connor to throw first. Game
Right
on.
now, he's thinking, just repeat this on my darts. Do not give Osborne a chance. Because
57.
for both players, leg 5 is crucial because the winner goes within 1.
The finishing line getting closer all the time.
60.
In a final like this, when there's so much to play for, you do tend to find there's an edgy moment.
60.
And again, the trebles have dried up
81.
for Connor Scott on his own darts. It's almost as if they're just programmed to go on the Osbornes.
100.
Big last just keeps him temporarily with that advantage of the darts. An advantage that he did win in the back room. The only game of the week with a bullseye.
140.
He needed that. Good reply.
Full house here would leave Colin Osborne on tops.
180.
What a time for Colin Osborne to send
Colin
those 180 cards into the
144.
air for the first time of this match for Colin Osborne. Timing.
74.
For 5 breaks of
Colin
throw
requires
in a row,
40.
Colin Osborne tees up tops to go within 1.
There is some distance between the double and where the darts have landed.
20.
Never really looked
Connor
likely there,
requires
Colin
70.
Osborne. Connor Scott should get a dart. He chooses tops.
Game shot in the
Body
fifth
blow
leg.
from Connor
Connor
Scott.
Scott.
He is within 1. Osborne had a massive opportunity. Couldn't
Sixth
take
leg.
it.
Colin to
The
throw
shake of the
first.
head there from Colin
Game on.
Osborne says it all. He knows what a massive chance that was, and he may not get another. Scott is on the hill.
Just looks to be losing a little bit of composure right now, Colin Osborne.
$43.
Invitation for Connor Scott now to take advantage.
57.
Time running out for Osborne.
$95. $85. $137.
Big from Osborne there. Just reminding Connor Scott, you're going to have to win this. I'm not going to give it to you.
97. $95.
It looks as if, Matt, we are going the distance
44.
here in the final.
Colin requires 131.
Well, the evenings that the pair have had, you feel like it's a game that is going to go the distance. It went the distance earlier on when the pair met in game number 1 in the group stages. The advantage of throw
49.
was the difference there. Connor Scott getting over the line in a last leg shootout. But if you can hit something big here, we may have a little bit more play.
29.
Instead, Osborne
Colin
now
requires
has the luxury of
82.
time.
Something every dart player loves. But 82 to send us all the way. 17 and tops. Tops for a level game in the final.
62.
Doesn't go, but he will return. But I don't want to plant doubt in his mind, but it was tens that caused him issues all week, Matt?
59. Colin requires 20.
No
Game
problems
shot on
there
their
for Colin
sixth
Osborne.
leg. Colin
We go to a
Osborne.
decider. We go to one leg. One more leg of 501
Seventh and final leg.
for the
Connor to
weekly
throw
title.
first.
For the
Game
golden
on.
ticket.
Only one can go to Champions Week, and it comes down to this. And under pressure, Connor Scott pins a maximum.
Sinking feeling for Colin Osborne. He knows he's just got a hit just to stay in the game now.
100.
Could he win the week with the best leg of them all? He won't. You do like to dream in these scenarios,
60.
but Connor Scott will just be dreaming about getting his fingerprints on that trophy.
Osborne needs something just to remind Connor.
60.
Well, he could have entered the lead a little bit there. Connor going trebleless. Colin Osborne joining in.
What a last start that is. That's huge. That gets him down to a finish. He's potentially 3 away from the title.
60. Connor requires 161.
Time on his hands.
$35.
But wayward darts at the worst possible time. Colin Osborne may still play a hand yet at the back end of this final. Connor Scott looks at the board. He won't like what he sees.
125. Connor requires 126.
We'll have to start downstairs now. The luxury of the setup shot has gone.
98.
And he leaves it beautifully after
Colin
15
requires
darts.
156.
Can Colin Osborne save his Super Series week? The preparations begin. Connor Scott is a dart
60.
away.
Connor requires 28.
And he's done
Game,
it. It's in.
shot,
And he's in.
and the Modus
Connor
Super
Scott
Series,
is through
Series
to
8,
Champions Week.
Week 8 champion.
He has said.
Connor Scott.
He has said in the past that he has struggled here at the Super Series, but there are no struggles here this week. It's been a dominant display for Connor Scott, who breaks the voodoo of the Super Series. We have had many people win Group A and not go on to win the week. Connor Scott, the first player in some time to do that. A 4-3 success over Colin Osborne for the second time this evening. He kicked off his evening with a 4-3 victory over Colin Osborne before a dominant couple of displays. 4-0 over Gert de Vos, 4-0 in the semi-final over Fallon Sherrick, and he was made to work for it there. The numbers, the averages, tell you absolutely everything. A very evenly matched game. 4 breaks a throw early on. Colin Osborne missing 3 darts for the break to go 3-2 up, and then Connor Scott showing a touch of class. The 3 180s, possibly the part that got him over the line. And we're going to hear from our champion now with Phil Bars.
Connor, congratulations. You came here as the favourite. You're going home with the title. What are the emotions like right now?
Ridiculous. I thought after Colin broke my first leg, I was dead and buried. Colin seemed to be finding 2 trebles every visit. I think I was very lucky to be starting a couple of legs with a 180. It would have been nice to do a 171 afterwards, but I didn't have the bottle. Sorry, guys. But it's one of those things that I'm very, very happy to get the win. I left double 14 on purpose because it's a straight line. And I thought if I can just... I was straight for most of the match. I thought if I left the double that's sort of straight down the line, I might get lucky and just nick it.
You touched on trying to deliver a night, and me and Matt spoke about it in commentary, that it was business. It wasn't the flamboyant Connor Scott that we've seen. It was all about the win this evening.
No, I mean, if you look at a lot of the week, there was no flamboyance. I mean, I mean, naturally, I'm not a very flamboyant player anyway. It's only when I'm on a stream that I do try and go the 180, 171 free balls, because no one's going to forget it. Like, if you go that way for a 9-darter, no one's going to forget it anytime soon. That's why I try and do that sort of thing. But if you look at, like, even when I was down here last time, I'd never go for 3 balls just out of nowhere for like a 15-dart leg or something. I'd never do that. You've always got to be you've always got to try and give yourself a chance to win it, and that's why a lot of the night tonight, if I started with a 180, I was trying to follow it with a 2-treble visit, and then I might have, if I hit the two trebles after the 180, I would have thought about whether going for another 60 or a 51, and then I can do the 150. But it's all about how I feel in that particular game.
You beat Colin in the group stages. Was that on your mind at all as you were walking up for the final?
Yeah, it was far too close in the group stages. I mean, Colin broke me in 12 in the group stages, and I was expecting him to do much of the same there. To be completely honest, I think Colin was a lot stronger tonight than what he played there, in my opinion. I mean, he broke me fairly early, broke the first leg. I think, how many breaks was there in that? 3? 4. So it just shows how close that game was, all in all, and it all just comes down to the doubles at the end of it, which in the Super Series, a lot of it comes down to the scoring. Who gets down to the double first normally pins it, but in this game, it was all about who pinged the double.
You are now going to Champions Week as well, where you will compete for the grand prize of £25,000. You said you wanted this, and Champions Week was on your mind before a dart was even thrown. How does that feel that you're going to go up against the best now?
It feels nice. I mean, I've won a few things before coming into this, so it was very nice to get a Super Series under my belt. Even if it's not the Champions Week, even if it's just this week, I'm very, very happy to get another little sort of title under my belt, if that makes sense. It's nice. I'm in a good place at the minute.
You've won plenty of titles this year. What does this one mean to you?
It means an awful lot, because there's an awful lot of quality in the week, and I'm very, very glad that my little bit of punditry at the beginning of the week worked out. Ricardo Ham did play a lot better at the end of the week, even if he was a little bit nervy in Group C. But I was happy for Colin. Colin, at the end of Wednesday, after he found out I was through, he said, "You'll see me Saturday no matter what. You'll see me Saturday, you'll see me Saturday." So I was winding him up saying, "Are you going to be chalking? Are you going to be marking?" And he was like, No, you'll see me Saturday to play." And I was happy with Colin getting to the final. He done extremely well.
Well, Connor, congratulations. Now's the time to get your hands on the trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, your Series 8, Week 8 champion, Connor Scott.
Yeah, well, Matthew Edgar's alongside me looking at this, and Matt, all week you've been saying that will be the moment we'll be talking about, and there it is, Connor Scott lifting the trophy.
It's an image I expected to see this week. It's an image he's probably visualised. He's a thinker. He's someone who sort of visualises his own success. He would have seen this in his mind. He came here quietly confident. He didn't want to come in here boisterous and tell us all what he was going to do. Much to my dismay, I think I'd have liked to have seen a little bit of that. But he came in here quietly confident, believing in his own ability. He is a quality dart player, a quality operator who we're not going to see here for long at the Super Series. So enjoy these moments we get, Connor Scott.
Yeah, shaking hands with everybody as he makes his way out of the arena there as well, Connor Scott. It's a moment that he deserves to enjoy, because before this week it hadn't gone his way here.
Absolutely not, and he was so aware of that as well. He talked very fondly about how he's always struggled here at the Super Series. No struggles here. He's dominated. He's won Group A, he's won the week. I said at the end of that game there that we don't see that very often, and we haven't seen it for a long time. That is the ultimate domination of a week for me, when you win Group A and then you go on to win the week. That's when you know you've done it the hard way, and Connor Scott has done that here. He was the favourite tonight. We said 7-4 seemed a bit big, and right now when you look at that, it seems like a massive price. That I don't think you're going to get that again, even on Champions Week.
Well, there is a few signatures for the audience in the arena here, but I tell you what, Colin Osborne gave him a good fight, didn't he, in that final?
He probably will feel he should have had him, because twice he broke the throw, and he also had those 3 darts to break it again and be a leg away from the match with a 3-2 lead. So I think Colin Osborne's probably going to leave here not happy that he made the final, but disappointed that he didn't win that game. And I think in reflection, he'll be happy eventually when he gets his payment for runner-up. I'm sure that's when he'll start smiling again.
But that moment as well, the 1-4-4, he would have been 2-0 up had that gone in, so Scott would have really been up against it then.
He's had moments, didn't he? He really did have moments there, but that's all it is. Small in this sort of format, short format games, you're going to get these little snippets, and it's who takes them. And ultimately, Connor Scott bounced back really well. 2 13 darters when Colin Osborne hit him. He just hit back hard, and that's a sign of quality.
Think back to Monday, we spoke to him on Monday morning, and then I sat with you and you spoke about the fact that maybe he could just be a bit more outwardly confident. Has this week started to see him display a little bit more of that?
I don't think you ever will. I don't think that's him. I don't think that's his personality. And I think, and the worry for me with that is I think some people may see that as a sign of weakness. And certainly when you're out on that PDC tour and you're full of characters and boisterous personalities and the best of the best, sometimes you've got to have that body language about you, that aura about you. And that might be just the thing that's missing at the moment for Connor Scott. And I think that's what he's going to develop this year. Coming away from the tour, going on the various tours where he's hoovering up titles and he's going to need a trophy room rather than a shelf. I think that is what he's going to learn, how to develop a little bit of aura.
Speaking of the best, he's through to Champions Week, Connor Scott. You've been saying not only do you think he'll win this week, but you think he'll win Champions Week. You can see the lineup so far there. Is he the standout name on that list?
We've looked at this list for the past couple of weeks that I've been down here at the Super Series, and every time it's come up, I've been asked, who do you think's gonna win it? I now have my answer. It's Connor Scott. He's the standout name. I mean, Jimmy Van Skee's doing some good stuff. Neil Duff, very successful in this arena, but I was looking for that player with the X factor, and Connor Scott has it.
Yeah, and he's exhibited that this week. We've seen what he's done tonight, but earlier in the week as well, that performance when he had the average north of 120 shows how good that he can be.
Shows what he's got in there as well, doesn't it? Sometimes you're going to need that. And on Champions Week, I'm pretty sure you're going to need it somewhere at some point. The players now know he's got it. He knows he's got it. He knows how to win on that stage. So many positives for Connor Scott. I could literally just sit here and reel them off, but I've been doing that all week. So I just feel that he'll feel vindicated right now in everything that he's done and said up to this point.
It is his night, of course, but it's not just about him. Who else leaves this week with plenty to build on?
Ashley Coleman. Absolutely Ashley Coleman. I think when I saw his name on here and with some of the players in here, I didn't think he'd get to the semi-final. I'll be honest with that, on the evidence of what we've seen before. But on the evidence of what we've seen here this week, I can't wait to see him here again, because I think we're watching a developing player here. He'll learn a lot from tonight, how he went out and how he played on the stage, how he felt on the stage. He's an exciting prospect I'm really looking forward to, and I'm really going to be keeping a close eye on the development.
And how much is the Super Series helping players like Ashley Coleman and indeed Connor Scott in lifting that trophy in their future progression?
The answer is in the Q School qualifiers. We have had it for the past couple of years. The players you see here at the Super Series doing well, you don't see them the year after, because they always get the tour card when they go to Q School. I think that's going to be the same thing this year. Our really high-performing players like Connor Scott, players like Andy Bolton, players like Jimmy Van Skee, we probably won't have them next year, and we'll be looking for the next wave of players. We had Luke Littler here just last year. He's now the Premier League champion. It really is a good stepping stone of development, and I like to think this is a good bridge between where the professional game is and sort of where the amateur game is. It's a great bridge to get the best of the best in one room and one arena.
Well, thanks for your company tonight and this week. You were right again, I have to say. Well done. But we hope to see you next week here at the Super Series. The action continues. Week 9 begins on Monday, 9:30 a.m. it starts. All live here on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. Tonight belonged to Connor Scott, but there's another week of darts waiting for you around the corner.
For the 16, Steve Vine makes it a moot point.
Mitchell 161. And taken superbly.
This could mean.
Oh, and he finds the ball.